what should we do? All the jokes have become the news. Take the black pill they're prescribing you. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. There is nothing to say, nothing you can do. The government and media just lie to you. Sit back and laugh, it's overdue. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. The host is a cripple, he can't stand gravity or the man. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. The show is the chat Johnny doesn't understand. We don't care what he has planned. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over.
Welcome, everybody. I started late. I'm sorry. I was in my own head, man. Was stuck on my own thoughts, dealing with stuff, and because of that, I kind of foobarred the launch. I apologize. It is my fault. Blame me. Hi, Mr. Q, says Brian. Brian was in here complaining. Hello, happy. Well, not complaining. No, letting me know that I was remiss in starting late. Happy good afternoon, happy Good Friday to all. Happy Good Friday. I'm not Christian. I don't want to be one of those. I want to be one of those indifferent that says that I'm spiritual. But we were talking about this yesterday a little bit. I do have a quasi spiritual side because of everything I've been through, but I don't trust people in religions, and that's where Digger's like, well, that's why you have to do your own research. And I'm like, right, but even if I believe the translations of the stuff that you suggest, like if I think, oh, those things are accurately translated, that's really what it means. But really, like, my disbelief of humanity is to the point that even when that shit was written, people were pieces of dog shit, and I don't know that I trust them. Kind of deal. So it makes it difficult. I self-impose additional difficulties. We've had a Venmo contribution. Let's see if there's supposed to be anything listening to this. Papa Lab doing lab things. All right, so that would be... All right, so that's on the 8th automatically. And then... So then... 30 on the 8th. Okay. Thank you, Papa Lab. Trying to think of a good song to use the name Papa Lab in. To come up with that. All right. Whoa, I'm here almost on time. Did we slip into a parallel universe? Maybe the world just went right for you really well today, Lexi Vaughn. I hope that's the case. I hope that you're here early because everything was just coming up, Lexi, one after another. Nothing but green lights from start to finish. All your goals met. Happy Friday to you. And thank you very much, Lab Glass. We'll do a little salute to you in a second here. I'm cleaning off my glasses because they were smudged. I was in my own head. I was thinking about something. I was in my own space. And I looked up and realized I was like a minute late to start the show. Well, more than a minute late because I usually start the show like a minute before. And, yeah. Just in my own goddamn head. All right. So we do have a show. Digger isn't here, obviously. It's Friday. She's not on every Friday. She's on some Fridays, not every Friday. She'll be here next Friday for the big, awesome Torture Me GoFundMe stream. I've already ordered, or not ordered, I've already got the kippers and other stuff. I think I couldn't order Marmite, so I got to find, I don't think I had to order that in. I think I had to order the Vegemite in, but I thought I found Marmite at the store. I'll just have to go back to the grocery store and see if they have Marmite. They got to have it. I'm going to say this. It as a flavor additive in large batch stocks and soups and stuff. Not bad. Not bad. Good afternoon, Lexi. That's mighty white of you, buddy. Thanks. Well, I don't get any benefit from hoping for your ill. I don't hope for wrong for anyone. It's not going to improve their life. I don't know if you know this or not. I get upset, frustrated, and bitch about enough of my life as it is. I don't need to hope other people's gets worse. I don't need that karma. If for nothing else other than the self-serving reason of I don't need that strife in my life, I don't want people to have hard times. I want people to have good times. Good times, good people. Marmite, the ultimate chemical weapon. I will say, eating it in concentrated doses is a form of torture. But if you dilute it, it's all right. I guess in a way you could make the same argument for lutefisk. Like, hey, that stuff's poisonous, but if you do it right, it tastes great. And I'll never eat lutefisk because I'm afraid. But I do understand the sentiment at least. Is the Yahtzee salute emoji. I don't know the hand wave thing. I come here for the good times and good people, but you lot will do, says Lexi. Look, man, I know everyone says you're a piece of shit, but look, I don't believe him. Regardless of what these people say here, you're not a piece of shit. You're pretty awesome. Like, that's the weird, like, that's a nice backhanded comment. It's like, hey, I know everyone says you suck balls, but you're all right. Iran took down a fighter jet. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know. Look, this is where I miss having Our Lovely Lady of Digger. Is it weird that I don't think they did? Is it weird that I think that was an op to make us, like, look more vulnerable and them as posing more of a threat and us? Or is it just the ongoing? I'm probably a really huge piece of shit, and it's just the ongoing strife of this conflict. Either way, I just really wish it wasn't happening. I also read and heard that like President Trump is like saying that he won't get involved in NATO countries and defending NATO countries if they're not going to help us with this. And he's threatening to like break up NATO over the whole deal. I don't have a problem with that. Break up NATO. But, I mean, I'd also like to follow it up with also bring our military back and don't increase their spending by $1.5 trillion in one of the largest military spending increases in history, like to the highest point that it's ever been. Like, let's not do that. But, yeah, I read about all those things. I don't know if you really want to talk about them, we can. I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't really feel like the Friday afternoon show is a time to let's break down government finance. It's kind of why some of that information came out today, because they don't want people to really discuss it. They want to hit people with it when they're drained from the work week. They're mentally exhausted and fatigued from everything they've put up with throughout the week. They're at the point where they're getting ready and they're like, I gotta get my church on or my drink on or my party on or whatever their unwind and their de-stress valve is. They've got to get to that point. And so right now they're at a critical mass, and news stories like that, they just don't have, and they bounce off the top and they fly out. I mean, we can talk about all that if you want to, but I really don't think it's going to help. Also, arrest Zelensky for money fraud. Right. Like nobody's going to do that, though, because that's just your opinion. I mean, do you have any proof at all that he's committed money fraud? By the way, what is money fraud? Money fraud. He committed money fraud. Yeah, look, I understand what you're saying, and it's not that I don't agree with you. I'm just saying your viewpoint is coming from a place of personal distrust and dislike of the guy. So just arrest him for money fraud. No, what he did is he's profiting out the ass from literally being the puppet of first world powers and regimes, like the one that controls a lot of us ourselves. Zelensky is a top tier, and I'm tired of you besmirching his name, man. Zelensky is a top tier, grade A, peak of the art butt puppet for the global establishment. Nobody does it better than him. Nobody's been at it longer than him. And nobody's had a butt more receptive to more puppeteers than him. So I understand where your hatred comes from, but don't just throw that out. And then, again, that's kind of meaningless. Throw it for money fraud. Lexi Vaughn, I like turtles. So wire fraud. Like, he didn't commit any fraud, though. Has he fraudulently done anything? He just keeps asking that the governments of the world keep funding his country while we use his country, the governments of the world, not just us, but while the governments of the world use his country as a proxy nation to duke it out with Russia. That's all he's asking for. The fact that he's skimming off the top is an internal problem. The problem that I have is that we're paying him in the first place. That's my problem. But you ain't gonna stop that. It's going to go on and on. I see no issues getting rid of NATO. Right, King Kong Dong? Like, when that nuke bomb dropped, I can't believe I said this, but I was like, I read that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not pro-Trump, whatever. But in this particular issue, I'm like, I hope Trump gets, quote, like, I hope Trump pulls the trigger on his threat and does what he says he'll do. I hope he's like, yeah, you know what? Well, you guys won't join us, and I hope they don't. We're bailing on NATO, and ding, ding, ding. You got yourself a bargain, sir. They are amazingly wonderful beasts. Horses, can't blame you. What about horses? I prefer horses over turtles. I'm going to say this. I'm a ferret man. I miss my ferret. I miss my little slinky dink ferret. I have to say, of all the pets I've had in my life, Alucard's amazing. I love him. I love Tegra. My cats are great. Ferret. Ferret's my favorite. I also wouldn't mind having, like, if I had a fully functional body that worked well, I wouldn't mind having, like, say, a fox or a raccoon. But I understand that there's a lot of difficulties with a pet like that. So it's probably not in the cards nowadays. Get rid of NATO and then the New World Order next. Right, because that's just a thing. You realize Trump is a butt puppet of the New World Order, so there's no way that's happening. Yeah, do that and do that. And while you're at it, stop funding all these global wars and just pull out of Iran and say it's Israel's fucking problem. Right? Like, yeah, that's totally going to happen, St. Caesar. Miss Dong asked why I'm obsessed with Johnny's meats last night. That is an excellent question because there's no such thing. There is no such thing as Johnny's Exotic Meats. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Your obsession makes very little sense. She's right to ask. She's right to question, and you might want to see somebody. Let's pause war talk, please. Otherwise, I'm breaking all the dad jokes I found out distasteful. Yeah, I'm not really trying. I didn't prep any of that stuff for the show, but St. Caesar's like, hey, did you hear the news that everybody's heard that's circulated? Have you heard the word that's been around a few times? Around a few times. Last I checked, your billboard is on I-90. There is no billboard. There is no billboard on I-90. I know there's like AI images of a billboard, but there's no billboard on I-90. Anyways, so now after that amazing donation, I didn't do a little burn salute. I got to do that. After that amazing donation, we're now on $30 for, what is that? That's Wednesday, April 8th. We're right on the doorstep of the GoFundMe show and all the fun torture stuff. We're bringing back all your favorites, including the debuted last time, highly loved arm taser bit. So all that's coming back. The bucket, the whole nine. I'm considering upgrading on the bucket situation. I'm considering upgrading to a larger bucket. I'm worried I'm worried we're at on air. We're at clinch time, on air vomit, and I don't want to do that. Chrissy loves Johnny's exotic hay. There's no exotic hay. There's no exotic anything. Dad jokes are welcome to me. Yeah, we're trying to be more mellow. So St. Caesar, we're not really going to be getting into all that other stuff. He brought it up. We kind of went through that quick. But yeah, I'm going to try and avoid as much of that as possible. Let me double check while we scroll through here. The only thing politics we have is the budget proposal for defense, and we can probably see how long the other stuff goes. We might try and... Uh-oh. Oh no. I'm totally worried that this is I gotta, let's see. I apologize. I have to see if this is important. For fuck's sake. I'm waiting for a very important phone call that I'm supposed to be getting that's supposed to be people helping me figure out this whole housing bullshit for a crippled person. And then I get a fucking fundraising phone call. Hi, I'm called from this is Joe from the Police Officers Association. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, I can't take a fundraising call right now. I am doing a live show and I'm waiting for an important phone call. It's a 9:45. All right, so you've definitely thrown me off right then and there because, firstly, I know for a fact that the cops have the whole seizure shit that they get to. Yeah, fuck off. I don't need to fund the boot on my neck, but I'm certainly not willing to hear the sales pitch while I'm doing a live show. And when I tell you that, you fucking pull this bullshit of just ignore me. It's probably a recording, right? It's probably AI, but it's just, damn it, I hate needing to take a phone call and. Oh, and it's early enough that I'm like, well, maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to take that call. Maybe I need to walk that dog. But it's no. You assholes. Done. Duh. Son of a bitch. All right, $5 from King Kong Dong for Johnny's Exotic Dingo Jerky 5-ounce bags going on sale next week. That's not true. That's not true. That you paid me to say that. That's not true. And now I got to count that. Hold on. Now I got to do math. Son of a bitch. That's all right. So that's that. That leaves the remainder. All right. So we're down by another $5 after the YouTube contribution with that 5. So thank you. Let me put that. Leaves that there in the difference. And that puts us down to 25 for Wednesday, April 8th. 25. Jesus. Sinking like a stone. I appreciate the help so much. All right, so let's grab that. We're going to try and avoid serious stories. Did I ever do the burn? I don't think I went. I went to do the burn and the fucking phone rang. I can't win for losing today, as Digger would say. Has Digger joined us? Oh, she's over in the Rumble chat. Let's catch up with them. Johnny will be able to transcend his wheelchair. I call women and say, shut up and sleep with me. I don't think that works. I really hope it doesn't. Religious is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spiritual people have been through hell, says Lapglass. That is a very interesting take, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Remarkably, not relevant, but just didn't expect that from, you know what? Surprising wits, pearls of wisdom. Happy Good Friday, and God said, or he would have if he saw my house, and on this day thou shalt dust. If he saw my house, he'd hit it with an asteroid and say, and on this day you get the same treatment the goddamn dinosaurs got. It's just because I'm getting everything ready for my lady's lovely Easter celebration. We do a little fun thing for the kid. So, rearranging stuff, getting things ready for her little extravaganza. If I make a game called Meat Butcher Simulator with an exotic meats DLC for a total of $12 for both, who would buy it? I have no idea, Brian. That's a weird ask. Red Cross keeps calling me for my blood. Worst week to do it, says Mr. Q. Yeah, that's probably not. It's probably not a good time. LOL, he just left and asked if thou's vacuum was broken. Oh, no. Digger is a good person, as is Johnny. Well, that's nice to hear. So we've gotten caught up with that chat Gotten caught up with all the chats. Now I've got animals in the chat. I'd buy, says King Kong Dong. I might pay for Johnny's exotic meat video game where you cut up meats to stock the market. There's no meat market. It's not real. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Alrighty. It's just so hard to stomach all these things. All right, so I still didn't do the burn thing, did I? Jesus. Brian saying you can name your butcher anything you want. For example, Johnny's Exotic. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Don't do that. It's not worth. Don't. No. All right, let's load our first hour of stories. We haven't even gotten into the first hour. We fiddled around. We talked about bullshit. And this is not how we want to do this. Close you, and click here. Thank you. Wow. Excuse me. Thank you again for that that wonderful bit of support. We're happy to have all you fine folks on the 3 different platforms. We'll do a little show for y'all. Let's grab this and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so yeah, we do have the increase in defense spending thing. And like I'm against all of this, slashing housing, social services, and healthcare. I'm tired of cutting money. Like you can argue if that that budget needs to be cut. Like we spend too much on that. We can talk about that. But if we're talking about that, we spend too much on the Department of War. So, but anyways, that's later if we really need to. We'll get to that. Let's talk about some of this other stuff. There's a Bible era shipwreck. I thought we could do. Oh, we can't. A Bible era shipwreck that has found a whole bunch of stuff in a Swiss lake, including an iconic gladius sword. Let's just go over to the New York Post thing. I can't pull all these pictures up independently. I thought that would do it. Oh, nope. That sucks for a different image. All right. Bible era Roman wreck yields find of a lifetime, including an iconic gladius sword and other perfectly preserved treasures. So this shipwreck, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. This is in Switzerland, uncovered a 2,000-year-old Roman shipwreck filled with perfectly preserved treasures, gladius sword, and olive oil jugs. They've got jugs of olive oil? Hundreds of ceramic vessels. I'm amazed the ceramic didn't dissolve after time. Discovered a Roman gladius sword, suggesting the treasure ship was traveling with a military escort. Yeah, and that guy didn't make it out, or at least his sword didn't. That's all we have. Crazy. Look at noose. What? Don't know what you mean, King Kong Dong. Just embrace it. We won't tell the IRS. Got the ground disc up before the snow, so that's good. I'm ready to seed some. Well, that's nice. That's nice for you. They knew how to pack it in then. I guess. Because that thing's been sitting underwater for quite a while. To put that in perspective, and this is the trippy part of this, to put that in perspective, that boat and its contents sank hundreds of years before the Titanic was built and set sail. And yet the Titanic, as it is now, in what has been about 100 some years, has almost it's dissolving. It won't be around for long. they won't come across the Titanic at a point in time like they did this boat in Switzerland. And I know you can argue that the water's different, the temperatures are different, the makeup of the vessels, whatever, what have you. But the point is, everything in the Titanic will have dissolved and melted away in the amount of time. And that thing's still there. And they found jugs of olive oil. So they found jugs that stayed intact with their contents intact. Weird. They knew how to why would a pressured glass vessel dissolve, says AP. It wasn't glass, it was like ceramic or whatever. That's clay, that's baked clay. Just saying, if it sat in water long enough. AP, because metal rusts and wood doesn't. Rexstar Parody says, carved on the sword, if found, please return to Antonius. I can't fucking read today. God damn it. Quality of materials different, but also Titanic has a lot more pressure with depth, most likely. AP, which turns into glass. I mean, if you glaze it right. AP's probably swearing at me right now, and I don't even know it. I'm fucking trying to educate this dumb fuck. Yeah, right. Dirt, right? Like, and sand. Like, how do you make glass, asshole? You bake sand, right? So this is just glass you can't see through, okay? And it's a pressurized container underwater. Do your windows melt after rain? No, they don't. Or at least they shouldn't. Which they did. Haha, jugs. I want to play with jugs, says Mr. Q. And Freak95 enjoying the glazing. I glaze everything right, says Brian. King Kong Dog, what are we glazing? AP, no, I'm not swearing. But he's not. You notice he also said, I'm not happy about it either. You're really fucking stupid right now, and it's starting to irritate me. Like, I understand, and I'm sorry. I understand. It's my fault. I apologize. So, yes, archaeologists found the discovery. The artifacts were grouped in a tight cluster rather than strewn about. So they usually don't come across this, I guess. But the boat, I guess, kept everything together all the way down. They didn't say anything about really recovering the boat itself, though. But the lake bed housed a veritable treasure trove of goodies. While the artifacts were in excellent condition for their age, they are nonetheless under threat from erosion, boat anchors, and even looters, prompting archaeologists to rescue the most fragile objects as a precaution. We got nothing on the boat. The recovered cache included several hundred surprisingly intact ceramic vessels, including bowls, plates, mugs, and dishes made in central Switzerland. They also uncovered several amphorae used to transport olive oil from Spain, alluding to the long-distance exchange of goods across the Roman Empire. Ship's cargo also contains remarkably well-preserved utensils, tools, and wagon wheels. The only examples of their kind discovered in Switzerland. The most unique find was the sword, apparently. That's it. Nothing about the boat, so I'm guessing the boat's all but gone. The rest of the stuff was there, though. I hope they wouldn't melt after rain. Well, I don't know. It depends. What's in your rain? What's in your rain and what's in your window? Apparently the snow didn't melt after the rain. That's what people were reporting to me. I haven't verified it myself. Fresh water also preserves much better than seawater. True, like I said, the lake bed being a thing was probably why. What happened to the porn carvings, says King Kong Dog. King Kong Dog, you know the scientists are not going to tell the news about the porn carvings, because then the news anchors are going to want to see them, and then they're going to tell the world about them, and everybody else is going to want, I want to see the porn carvings, and so they're not going to tell them. They're just going to say, we found more jugs, but ching, that's it. Hey, Bricks Gaming, thank you for joining us over on Rumble. Rumble always slow to start and then fills out more, because, like, guys, look at this, we were rarely higher on YouTube. And then, yeah, no, like, Rumble now really pumping those numbers. Thank you very much, Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. Yep, and boopily boop. Okay, so yeah, the divers found that stuff. Great, hooray, hurrah. I bet they stole to orgy instructions for science. I think he means the orgy instructions for science. I don't know if you need the... I'd feel like if you haven't figured out how that works now, I mean, yeah, great. We have stuff from, like, Bible era, but, dude, you ain't got a cell phone? Like, I'm sorry. Google's way more your friend than a pot from, like, 50 BC, okay? Or AD or whatever. Oh, no, it'd be AD. It's the Roman Empire. Dumbass. Anyways, so where's our next story? Oh yeah, let's check out how things are going in San Francisco. I found this story and I just started laughing. Like it's not bad enough that you've got a tree that's touching power lines on your house. You're in San Francisco, which already means you have to have the internet so you can use the poop tracker app. And now when you cut the tree, let's open. Can we click on this and just get the slideshow thing like they usually do? Yeah. But why can't I full screen it? What happens if we, can we, yeah, we can do that. There we go. Boom. So a San Francisco man has been fined $50,000 for trimming this fucking tree. He had a tree on the street where the people all like to meet. And by the way, the tree looks like shit. So he had a tree on the street just sitting here. It was starting to touch the power lines leading to his house. So he literally trimmed it. That was illegal, and they're fining him $50,000. That is a huge chunk of a house around here in these here parts of the woods. That's a down payment. He trimmed the tree, and now the city is literally fining the owner. Badly pruned trees with only a few small tufts of leaves remaining on a sunny day. Yeah, that's thanks for the caption. But yeah. So he is in trouble. Who cares? It's a fucking tree. Dude, I don't think the city really cares as much as they're like, hey, we get to fine this asshole $50,000. California in a nutshell finds you for touching a tree. The tree does look pretty effed up, like it's done. You've killed that tree. But the overall, like the punishment, is it weird? I don't think that fits the crime. It's $50,000. They accused him of topping the trees, a practice that can severely damage them and shorten their lifespan. Right? But again, you got to keep those trees trimmed so the city lines aren't taken out. I know we could not have all our power lines up in the air anymore. That's a little old tech. Like, the trimming ultimately forced 5 trees to be removed, the city said, resulting in a fine of... Oh, okay. So he's gotten punished for multiple trees. It was $10,000 for each tree. That still seems a little high, but now I understand the $50,000 better. It's not as bad. Good chunk of a house payment here, but in California, rent payment or gas car payment. I suppose, but if you're not driving an electric car in California, they punish you so hard for having a gas. Like, for that whole, like, I don't want to go that way. It's like, right, but you're going to suffer. And this is another thing. If you're a person who likes driving manual, you don't want one of these electric cars. They don't have a gear. They just go. Go slower, go faster. Go slower, go faster. You get to pick one, stick one, and hit one. Boom. That's it. Directional drill and underground cable isn't much better than above ground. It isn't much better, I suppose, especially not in California, because they have earthquakes and shit. More importantly than that, $59.99 for a headphone cable. I don't understand what any of that means, buddy. Where is AP at? Romans were heavy into orgies, and they're paleontologist nerds. Los Federales has entered the chat. I don't know what. All right. Better solution, trigger the San Andreas fault line. Yeah, the tree's gone, guys. We're going to kind of what would we call it? Canadian medical system this shit. Look, guys, we've got a couple of dead trees. Trigger the fault line, kill the state. It's over. It's done. Pack it up. Pack it up, send it home. I'm trying to buy a 1995 Chevy for the boys' first truck. Sounds a little old, but I don't hate the idea. Here's what I really wish I could drive. Again, a manual, a fucking 5-speed manual. But I can't. I don't think I could afford to get one, and I'd have to figure out, like, I'm working on the hand controls for this car, so maybe we could ask him if it's even possible. Is it possible to have handicap controls for a manual? And I know a lot of people probably be like, why would you? I'm like, why wouldn't you? If you could put the clutch on the shifter. I don't know. It's difficult. For 200 miles, then it's 3-day wait to recharge the shitty tech. Not really, actually, AP. I've ridden in one. I would say it's not days. What would you get? Like, if you went from 0 to empty, you get like 200 miles. Yeah, that's like accurate. But I'd say it's about, especially in the fast charge stations, which those scare the shit out of me. I'd say it's about a 15-20 minute wait, half hour at the most. Let's double it just to be safe and say the charging slow, whatever. You give up an hour to get back to that full charge. So I don't know, man. But as a commuter car, as a daily car, how about a manual muscle car? I would love a manual muscle car. I would love a 1961 Ford Galaxy Super Cruiser, 2-door. Settle for 4-door. If I'm doing 4-door, I'm doing suicide doors on the back. They're opening the other way. We're doing Morpheus style, where it's like badoosh, and they come out from the middle. I want him to drive as good as his mother. How about a manual muscle car? I wish I could. Had a Mustang Mach 3 with 464 barrel. That would be a very powerful car. When I directionally drill, I drink your milkshake, Eli, says Rusty Kramer. If a tree grows near the power lines, we just call the power company and they come do it for free. But I'm not in California. I'm guessing either this guy just had the gumption, or probably more than likely he called the fucking power company and they didn't do anything about it. Maybe they didn't view it as enough of a threat. He did. Either way, eating his dick on it now. So, oh. Oh, I didn't know I had that. I've got a somewhat serious one. Should have thought about that. I'm gonna warn you, this next story is a little rough. Just before we get into it, so you're clear. This one's out of Arizona. Apparently, and we've got a video. Oh, this is the video of him being arrested. Apparently, officers discovered a body. We blurred out. Is there a photo? So it's the video. Officers discovered a body of someone they had recently released. Oh, this is California, not Arizona. I read Azusa. Or Azusa. whatever, California, found a guy in the middle of one of their out-of-service patrol cars. Apparently, he got in there himself after being released. Oh, my Lord. Let's see. He had been arrested on March 20th for suspected DUI, BAC nearly twice the legal limit, and child endangerment while driving with his kids. Oh, I don't feel bad for this guy now. He was released from custody on March 23rd around 1 p.m. with his property and a lunch from the jail. No signs of distress. Surveillance video shows him walking out, looking around, then voluntarily entering the rear of Patrol Unit 37 and closing the door behind him. He had a functioning cell phone, but never called for help. His family reported him missing the next day. A maintenance worker found his body on March 26th after 3 days in the vehicle while prepping cars for washing. Paramedics pronounced him dead at the scene. No obvious trauma noted. Cause of death still under investigation by the LA County Coroner. Oh. I hate electricity, anything, because it doesn't have half the balls of anything that's gas or diesel. Grew up driving my dad's muscle car. 1969 Camaro was my favorite. Matthew Q depends on the job. Entered the rear. Gross. Nubs is claiming self-defense. Yeah, I heard Nubs is claiming self-defense. Crawfish Tibet and called me a liar. And he drew on me. All right, boys. Still got to take it up in front of Judge Spicer. Law and order, that's us every time, Sheriff. That's an interesting one. I got to imagine, I don't picture Nubs in a quick draw, you know? So what kind of self-defense are we talking? Rexstar Parody, gonna be hard to get the smell out of that car. Now, what's the guess on the cause of death? We're gonna go to the video in just a second here, and supposedly the body's blurred, so I should feel fine and safe in playing it. What's the guess on the cause of death? Like, did he have something stashed and they didn't find it, and then when he got out, he's like, "Hey, I still have my fentanyl," and then like OD'd? Because like he immediately bailed. You've got something you want to do. If the minute you get out of prison with all your stuff, you want to go find a nice quiet place to be alone. He couldn't want to sleep it off. He'd been in too long for that to be a thing. It was a fair fight. It was a fair fight and we was legal. Heart attack probably. Hopefully. Gagging, says King Kong. 3 days, dehydration. Well, he was in prison for a fair amount, but it's not like he couldn't get out of the car. And if you're stuck in the car and can't get out, why don't you call somebody? He had a functioning cell phone. They caught the girl who climbed out of the Muskegon police car window. She was able to break into a house with her hands cuffed behind her. You were right. She's a meth Houdini. I guess we could call her, what? Daniela Copperwire? Daniela Copperwire is probably what I would consider Meth Society's greatest contribution. Like, no police car can hold her. Handcuffs do not limit her abilities. Daniela Copperwire will forever be the greatest contribution to society that meth culture has ever given us. Hand got stuck in the rear. Well, his whole body did. First thing I want to do when I get out of prison 30 years ago was get laid. Yeah, you were in a lot longer than this. This guy just had a couple days. He was in the drunk tank for a couple days. They made him sleep it off. They made him wear it off for like a day, and then they cut him loose. So I feel like he probably had a much different experience and probably a very different list of needs because he maybe has higher tolerances Or even if he didn't, you guys, again, tolerances were tested differently. Meth has to be fun. Look at all the risk. Right? Look at all the you'll do when you're on it. I almost kind of wonder, is it that good? Is it, look what this dumbass is doing to himself. Is it that good? Johnny, don't sell yourself short. You're the greatest thing, meth culture. Whoa. I do not smoke meth. I feel like anyone who's watched this show with any amount of time knows wholeheartedly Johnny smokes weed. That's why he's stupid. It's marijuana, which is legal in this great state. I can't say great with a straight face. I agree. Meth is a hell of a drug. Look at them coke heads beat by a mile. Literally, those sons of bitches run fast. He would have been cavity searched prior to going into the drunk tank. Well, I'm not saying he keistered it. I'm saying he had to have something. He had to have something. What? I don't understand the logic and the reasoning of one. Like, you couldn't want to sleep it off. They cut you loose right after lunch.
For sure. What's his name? Eric Valencia.
Okay, so wait, they blurred it and you moved the car? Or is this where the vehicle was parked?
The 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He looks like he's decomposing.
Where is it?
He was sitting up. He was sitting upright. I really don't believe that the car was parked here the whole time. So I think they moved the fucking car.
on the back of the unit right here.
Back to this one?
Yes, the back seat should be open.
Should be open. He looks like he's decomposing. That's never what you want to hear. He passed from COVID or someone on the inside poisoned his lunch. Wait, you should take meth anally? I'm out, says King Kong Dog. No, well, Eric Valencia, welcome to the show. I don't think he really minds. You take that meth rectally when the cops are trying to arrest you, says Matthew Q. So probably a heart attack. I'm thinking, yeah, dude, he was sitting upright in the back seat. He had access to a cell phone. There's like 30 more seconds. I don't think we really need to get anything else out of that. Surveillance video showed him walking out, looking around, then voluntarily entering the rear of Patrol Unit 37 and closing the door behind him. He had a functioning cell phone, never called for help. So, okay. So that guy's dead. Following his release, yeah, they showed him get into that car. It's just, why? As of now, the LA County Medical Examiner has not determined the cause of death. The police department says the investigation remains ongoing and has brought in an independent investigator to review the circumstances. Forgot his lock screen pin. Oh, that would be the worst. He was there, he had the cell phone, but he made some sort of stupid fancy puzzle when he was drunk the couple nights before, and he's like, I'm a genius, no one will ever unlock my phone. And then he couldn't unlock his phone. He did it to himself. It was all his fault. And you know what? I'm glad no, I'm not. I got to tell you, these new headphones are stiff, and they are pushing on my ears. Got to figure out this setup. Alrighty. Horses playing in the snow. So cute, says Matthew Q. Well, that is probably very adorable. Oh, dear Lord, Alan. He was jerking and his heart exploded. He took pills and went in there to die, says Hooter. But then, like, how did the cops not find the pills? Because they just released him and returned all his stuff. Where did he get the pills from? He literally went nowhere else after he was released. He went straight to this vehicle. I'm on board with your idea, by the way. I totally support it. I'm all like, dang. But where were the pills? How did the cops not find the pills? But 911 doesn't need a PIN code to use federal law. Oh, that's true. So PIN code idea is out. What the hell, man? This is a true blue Kuiper. Why was this fuck not in there? Why didn't he call for help? Unless he suddenly had a heart attack. That's the only thing that works. Ooh, excuse me. I may have splurged and bought some coffee creamer the other day. I love making my coffee with liquid creamer. I'm spoiled that way. And I've been, to save money, I've been going the much cheaper bulk powdered creamer route. It's okay. But it's no liquid creamer. And so we got back, and this is my second cup of coffee today. I'm nursing it. And it's good, but just a little burpy. You think a high-ass fool would know that? About what? Would know what? Happy Friday. Right. Back at you, lurking while I make food. Nice. If a tree grows near the power lines, we just call it yep. Yep. Unless it's geothermal, drill vertically always 600 feet down and back up. Never fails. You can go 800 feet and do it. Won't need the second loop. I don't understand what he's talking about. They caught the girl who climbed. We covered that. Hard drugs are for losers. Yeah, I would agree. I don't do a lot of hard drugs. They're great in an emergency for clear thinking. What's great? I don't know. I don't know what great is. So we've got a video. I think Florida, in a weird way, is no longer going to be Florida. We've got new states vying to be Florida. So now we've caught up with all the chats. I think we're good. All right. So yeah, we have a new Florida state like submission, and entering their hat into the ring is the great state of Indiana, where we find a man accused of stealing a beer truck who led deputies on not necessarily a high-speed chase, a high shipping chase, and crashed into a patrol car. He was arrested and reportedly faces several charges, including attempted murder, auto theft, and operating a vehicle. Oh. So the guy stealing a beer truck had a few beers, like, on the way in? Oh, we just have the crash. Apparently operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Okay, look. I get that you're a police officer, but what are you gonna do? Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a semi full of Bud Light coming at you at 75 miles an hour with absolutely no disregard for your personal safety. What are you gonna do? Running your ass away from the scene. Good call. I'd say you didn't get far enough. I was really hoping he had kept going. Don't worry, officer. That Bud's for you. Matthew Q asking a very obvious question. Why else would you steal the beer truck if you didn't want to drink the beer? Right? But here's my thing. Like, if it has in it what the side of it says, you're looking at some very serious time. I just read to you the charges: attempted murder, vehicular theft, driving while impaired. Just the list goes on and on. Endangerment of an officer. Like, maybe that's what the attempted murder is. At any rate, you're risking all of that for Bud Light? Because that's what this asshole's getting. He's getting Bud Light. Hey, why are you here? I just really wanted some Rolling Rock, so I knocked over a distillery and I stole a whole truckload. Hey, Squeaky Cheeks, what are you in for? Oh, I stole a truckload of Bud Light, and it turns out 3 Buds in, it's awful hard to evade those police cruisers when they're parked directly in front of you on a country road and you're doing 95. It's just, God, it's just a lot of weight in the back end of those things. They don't tell you that when you steal them. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that guy's going to need a new police cruiser. Hey, you good? Yeah, no, don't worry. He ran the way, so he's pretty good. I'd love it if they said, let me see your hands, and he had a beer in each one, and he just, like, kept drinking them while they're coming over, like, drop the beer! And he's like, all right, I got you, officer, I got you. Just 1 second. Just hold on. Badunk. And then he grabs the other. He's got the other one. Drop the beard. It's not right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with. Hold. Whoa. Hold on. Then they come in another couple of feet, and he just has one in his pocket. He pulls out of the front, and he's just like, all right, yep. And they're like, just keeps drinking, just chugging them on their way in. If it was Corona, I'd understand. But Bud Light, really? Dude, I wouldn't even understand for Corona. That's any fleeing a officer charge. I think you think that's a fleeing an officer. Just one more, officer, I swear. Just one more. Thank you, Los. Just one more, guys. I know. Look, you're pissed. I'm pissed. How about we have a beer and talk about it? On me. It's on me, right? Like, they're charging me with it anyway. Help yourselves, guys. How am I going to tell them I escaped? Tell them you got us drunk on fire water, surrounded us, and escaped in the confusion. Is he still trying to go, or is he lying down?
To the side. Put your hands out to the side. Stay right there. Don't move.
All right, so there he is. He's not moving. St. Caesar. Officer, listen, this all goes away if you take what's left in the truck. Oh, it's Bud Light. My actor for the movie will have to be a porn actress instead of Dennis Quaid. Budget says so. I don't know how actor for what. It would have been better if you'd had a beer funnel with him. Oh, he's got like the hat with the cans on either side. He's got a Camelback that's just got beer poured into it, so just drinking it off of his shoulder. He hit the cop car. That's attempted murder. And yeah, for piss beer. It's attempted murder in a new pair of pants. And there's one left. Alrighty, well, let's see how we wrap this up. I think.
Right there, don't move.
Yeah, I don't.
I need somebody to come.
I got him.
Why the hell is the horn going off? That is distracting. I'm trying to see who we have here.
Move, man.
This is Indiana. It's anybody's guess. Oh, we still don't see who was doing the driving. It's a weird horn. He sounds drunk. Well, he was charged with driving while under the influence. So I'm going to guess, yeah, he was drunk. He also thought steering. He also thought stealing a Bud Light beer truck was a goddamn good idea. So yeah, I'm with you. He was drunk. Bricks Gaming. Well, Bud Light, we're going to have to keep the truck for evidence. Wink, wink. You know, for evidence. We're going to have several officers drink several different beers from several of the of the shipment just to see if any of them seem to be hinky. I'm also hearing they're going to have to tap several kegs. Not at all unrelated. Trucks have an alarm that goes off after you leave the door open for a certain amount of time. Oh. Well, thank God for that. I'm glad it's not an alarm for a reason like you just smashed into something. Like, by the way, you just hit some shit. Weren't. No, I really like this. Like the, uh-oh, you left the door open. Weren't. Like, I get the idea because, you know, there's like expensive shit in a lot of those trucks. You can't just leave the door open, but still. Oh, man. Normally, there's multiple kinds of beer in the back. Bud Light is just an advertisement on the truck. I know, Lab Glass, but it gives me something to rip on. I can shit on Bud Light all damn day. But it's all beer, though, right? It's not like there was any good booze. Like if we're losing some decent, you know, upper shelf booze, now I'm not happy. Make sure the beers have not been tampered with. The cops all pass out as he gets away. Come on, guys. I got more than Bud in the back of this thing. You know, there's some Coronas and you guys like Four Loko? I think there's a thing of that in there. You know, just help yourselves. It's all on me. And just maybe loosen these cuffs a little. They're a little uncomfortable, but you guys go ahead. You've had a hard day. I understand. Why don't you all tie one on, and I'll just chill over here by myself, not raise any ruckus, and y'all just take a good 10, 15, you know, cigarette, joint, what have you, and a beer, and just kind of, you know, take a break, you know, let the load off. Get yourselves right, you know what I mean? And don't worry, I'll be right here. I swear. Making sure the beers have not, yeah, but all Anheuser-Busch brands. I don't know if they're, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Anheuser-Busch brands that I like. Is Rolling Rock an Anheuser-Busch brand? Because I don't mind Rolling Rock. I don't mind Corona. But I don't drink beer. Then he puts on a uniform like GTA. He just, he switches his hat. He does a silent takedown on one of them, like Hitman, like Agent 57 or 47. Yeah. Anyways, there we go. So, yeah, hooray. First it was chocolate. Now it's, well, actually, I don't even think it was first. It was chocolate. But this is not the first time that whole truckloads of shit have been taken. And now it was chocolate that we were reporting on last. And now it's beer. Depending on the state and the distributor's license, what's in the truck bay? Oh, okay. PB Army ASAP. Look, we're getting pulled over on the side of the road for drinking beer, and it's not even good beer. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. Kit Kat, Bud Light, what's next? Nachos? I feel like someone's setting up a party somewhere. I don't think chocolate necessarily pairs well with beer, but you never know. Damn. But yeah, Indiana Man making a break for the Florida Man title. It's a daring entry. I don't know if they quite take the ribbon yet, but it is definitely bringing them up a notch. The competition is heating up. Who will be the great embarrassment state? And right now, Indiana has only got 1 or 2 solid entries. And don't get me wrong, they are solid entries, but they've got to top it up with continual entries into the embarrassment competition. And Florida Man just has a track record, and at this point, it's a brand. I want the Bush truck, says King Kong Dong. Chocolate and wine, beautiful, says Mr. Q. I don't even like chocolate and wine. I'm going to be honest. I've never enjoyed chocolate and wine. I feel like you have to pair the wine to be just the right kind of tart. Otherwise, if the wine is a sweet wine, your chocolate, it's just too sweet. Ugh. You have to do dark chocolate with a sweeter wine. I don't know. Like if you're doing a white, you got to do more dark or semi-dark chocolates. Fucking pain in the ass. Pretzels are next, says Alan. Who's gonna steal a truckload of pretzels? Really? A truckload of bread nuggets? We're doing that now? No joke, wasn't it a truckload of donuts before? I'm now trying really hard to remember what the fuck was stolen last. I don't know what was stolen before the chocolate. They're gearing up for the World Cup snacks of choice. Yeah, but it's on several continents, St. Caesar. That doesn't make sense. So you're saying we have a global conspiracy to steal food and drink for the World Cup. Who's going to be enjoying this shit? And by the way, their shopping list is fucking wackadoo. Well, the wieners got spilled all over the highway. Oh, no. Do you have a link to wiener spills on the highway? I do remember we talked about wieners on the highway at one point. King Kong Dong, the World Cup's in America this summer. Yeah, but the chocolate was stolen in Europe. The chocolate was stolen on its way to Poland from Italy. Stolen on its way to Poland. That's just weird. What happened? It was stolen on its way to Poland. It was taken and it wasn't bacon. All right, so before we get into this next story, I do want to reiterate. I'm not Christian. I don't have an established religion. I'm engaging in some interesting theological discussions with someone I care about deeply, and that may lead to revelations down the road. I won't say it won't, but as of now, I'm still, again, firmly unassigned. And I'm fine with that. But when I see hypocrisy like this, I get annoyed. The King of England, King Charles, has released a statement saying that the King and Queen will not be issuing an Easter message this year. And that's fine. Buckingham Palace has confirmed King Charles will not issue an Easter message this year. They're saying that the palace's decision to not release an Easter message is because they're trying to distance themselves from religion. They're trying to be less, is it theocratic or whatever? They're trying to be less one religion. They're trying to be less of a one religion country. I thought that's theocratic. I don't know. Anyways, so they want to break away from that. Only problem is, like a couple months ago, this was the exact same Buckingham Palace. Let me unmute it and full screen it so you can enjoy all of this. This was the exact same Buckingham Palace, pulling what might be the most Jacob Fry maneuver ever since Jacob Fry announced he was Jacob Fry.
Look at all the wieners.
Holy Jesus, there's a wiener on the screen.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. Ladies and gentlemen, as Muslims across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth begin preparations to celebrate Eid after fasting for the holy month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to all who celebrate this festival.
Thank you, Lab Glass, for the wieners and the Al sticker. We appreciate it. Monotheistic. Thank you, AP. Monotheistic. So, yeah, it's kind of weird because the king is kind of the head. Isn't the king like a large figure in the Church of England? Thought that was the case. I could be wrong. But to not... Why was that so loud? I just got assaulted by cartoon unicorns and I don't feel good about it. What the was that? Dear Lord. Lexi Vaughn. Whee! Yeah, that was rainbow unicorn farts. Somewhere in her house right now, Digger is listening to the show and she's dusting. And I guarantee you she dropped her duster and started laughing. And in a few moments, she may type into the chat that, yeah, that happened. That was someone on Twitch who had their cocaine for the day drawing in an animation. I don't know. Whoever made that animation, cool. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. That was the strangest thing to hit me with. I'm completely off track now. But yeah, so the King of England doesn't want to embrace the religion that he's a part of, that his country is kind of, you know, founded around. That's fine, but you literally months ago were, you know, all, hey, and Ramadan. So it's very interesting. A couple weeks ago, King Charles and Camilla prepared food for Muslims during Ramadan, right? Like you did a banquet for them and all that stuff. And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying it's weird to embrace theirs and deny your own. Very strange. Very strange. Oh, do we want to do the increase in defense? Johnny got brownied. I think he means bronied. You mean bronied. Because isn't it bronies are the people that like the dudes that like My Little Pony? I don't know. I could give less than two shits about My Little Pony. Ivy's out of that phase. She's done with My Little Pony, and I couldn't be happier. Because I don't give a shit about My Little Pony. She likes Bluey, which I adore. Bluey's a great show. But I did not hate, but I also did not care for My Little Pony. So she had a My Little Pony phase where she liked the little adventures of My Little Pony, but that did not last. She also had a Mickey Mouse phase where she loved everything Mickey Mouse. Also did not last. I'm saying don't do that. Fuck that. What, the funding thing? Yeah, I can skip it. I can skip it. It's not worth talking about the defense budget increase. Anyways, did you see the Bluey video game that's coming out, Johnny? I don't think there's a new one. As far as I know, the Bluey game that's coming out is the same one that's always coming out, just on a new platform. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. We got other things to take up. No, the King Charles thing. But yeah, that too, says Brian. Oh, don't do what? Don't not make an Easter message, but make a Ramadan one? We'll skip it all. It's not surprising. They want to increase the budget by $1.5 trillion. They want to slash housing and funding and social service programs to make up for that budget increase. The problem is they're taking from one that doesn't spend that much to give that much to one that has way too much. If it were the other way around, it would at least mathematically make sense. You could take $1.5 trillion from the military budget and give it to housing and social service programs. You could make that budget switch. You can't do it the other way around. We don't put that much into it continuously that you can cut all of that to pay for that. And we shouldn't be paying more to the military budget anyway. Anyways, I need something happy, says Mr. Q. Well, that's more of what we have the second hour stories for. We've got an up. I hope this wasn't a. It's not. All right, I was worried that was going to be a fake story. Oh yeah, dude, that's not an upbeat story. Virginia vice mayor was found dead. I forgot about that in the second hour. You know, it's just a lot of different news stuff that comes across, and you grab a bunch of different things. So we got a dude fighting to save a great white shark. The TSA thing, not necessarily the happiest thing to go into. So yeah. Yes, King Waterhead is the supreme governor of the Church of England. Apparently not anymore, man. I don't know how people there and I don't know how people here aren't like up in arms. I want to be so bad. Just sick of these people pulling this bullshit. I need to quit thinking, help a guy out. I'm trying, Mr. Q. I don't control everything that happens. And believe me, we've skipped a lot more of the serious stuff, but it's not like the world's full of just happy, funny, let's laugh at them stories. We make the best that we can out of what we have. Bear arms, says King Kong Dong. Yeah, I'd like bear arms, ostrich legs. I'd like eagle feathers, like human-sized eagle feathers. Can I be a human chimera? Can we just start like Lego brick pop and play with different pieces? I'd love some bear arms, some eagle wings. I'll even take talon feet. I'll take talon feet. You know, you can kickbox like a fucker with those. And whale cock. I want to have a whale cock. That's what we want. Perfect timing for the Alucard sticker. Yeah, it was pretty good with the Alucard sticker. So we have a couple of different things to talk about. This is a little bit more fun. At a Whataburger in Houston, a man is seeking up to $1 million in a lawsuit against Whataburger, claiming that the fast food restaurant left onions on his burger despite his request to omit them due to a food allergy. Demery, there's no T. Demery, that's a weird name. I've never heard that before. Demery Ardell Wilson sued the Texas-based chain late last month in Harris County after he allegedly sustained serious personal injuries, for which he had to seek care of medical professionals, according to the lawsuit. Wilson claims that he experienced an allergic reaction on July 24th of 2024 due to onions present in his meal after requesting no onions. The lawsuit, which seeks between $250,000 and $1 million in damages, alleges Whataburger failed to act appropriately and reasonably should have known of the danger of their actions. Whataburger has filed a response to the lawsuit last Friday and denied all of the allegations made by Wilson in its filing. Whataburger argues that Wilson failed to use caution as would have been used by a reasonable person under similar circumstances. Yeah, if you're so allergic to onions and you requested no onions, you didn't check, you just bit into the burger. Oh, we're good. You had a bite, you thought, does that taste like onion? Nah, I'm going to keep eating it. Let me tell you, if you're allergic to onions, at the very least, their absence means when they're in a dish, it's noticeable. And I'm going to go as far as to say, this isn't the first time you've eaten something with onion in it. You should have known the flavor was there. All right? Walrus dong for the proportions to the body. All right, AP saying walrus dong. The point is, we're both on the same page with the eagle wings, talons, and bear arms. By the way, those aren't going to fit proportionally to the body, too. I want them to be proportional to the body. I'm going to have to grow some big fucking wings. But then I'll fly like an eagle, high and free, fly like an eagle, let loose when I have to. All right, never mind. All right, so let's get back to this. Doesn't Whataburger cook burgers in onion though? I've only been there once. I don't know, but either way, requesting no onions on your burger, specifying you have a food allergy, and then not double checking that the generally considered high school education level staff followed the instructions. Like, that's the other thing. You put your fate in other people's hands and just assume they got their job right. I smell setup, man. I think we got somebody who saw Mark, took him down, was just ordering food. And he's like, as soon as we get a little sick, we'll just go to the hospital. And then we'll go, oh, I had damages. Oh. This is not the first time Wilson has sued a fast food chain over onions on his burger. In May of 2024, he sued Sonic Drive-In for allegedly leaving onions on his burger. In April of 2023, according to court documents, Sonic has denied the allegations and the case is ongoing. So he just goes around suing them for this. In the latest lawsuit, Wilson is requesting that Whataburger pay the alleged damages caused to him as well as his legal fees. The lawsuit does not name the specific Whataburger location where he ate in July of 2024. So let's assume that this poor Mr. Wilson here actually had onions both times without requesting them, seriously put him in danger in his life. You didn't learn after the first one. You're in a legal battle with people, a protracted legal battle, because you had onions on your burger and you didn't learn when you go to a fast food restaurant to check. No. This guy's glowing like radioactive plutonium. Isn't plutonium always radioactive? Radioactive isotopes, whatever, fuck you. Johnny, sue Arby's and say the meat mountain was undercooked. St. Caesar, I ate that sandwich like 2 months ago. Let's just say the window on that has fucking passed, dude. Nikki wants to know what's wrong with your hair. I tried to ruffle it to make it floofy. I don't know. I was upset before the show, and I combed it, and it didn't look better that way. So Digger always says do that, so I did that. She's always like, that looks nice. I didn't have the sense to put, like, pomade in it. I'm sorry about what's wrong with my hair. Brian, Johnny hasn't showered in like 2 days. That's just mean. That's not true. I didn't wash my hair yesterday. Whatever. Johnny, sue Arby's and say the mountain was undercooked. Yeah, we already got that one. Damn it. It's the problem with 3 chats. You read the same one over and over again, making sure you didn't miss one. And it turns out you already read it. If you have a serious food allergy, this is... Now it doesn't. I knew it. It's the cup that makes the noise that I can hear in the background.
Pride 100 weird you went, bare arms, eagle talons, walrus dick, and wings. But you failed to get legs.
What do you think the eagle
LAB
talons
Glass Projects cheered 100 bits.
I think the eagle talons are going to be on? They're going to be on eagle legs. I'm going to have them at least up to the ankle, possibly up to the knee. The legs just need to work. I don't need super powerful legs. The legs just need to function. That's all we're hoping for. Thank you for the 100 bits, though. Thank you for the 100 bits. Bits. Alrighty. Brian Science. I washed my hair, but didn't put any extra product in it today because I'm getting a haircut. Yeah, see, I didn't wash my hair yesterday when I took a shower at the end of the day. Didn't wash my hair. I skipped that step in lieu of not taking a long time before going to bed. Was up a little late. Won't say why. Just kind of did a quick hit, and it was out. Talons are toenails. You won't be able to wear shoes. I'll be fine, though. Like, you got to give a little bit for this. But it is still messed. I get more crap than you. I have no idea. If you have a serious food allergy, you should avoid fast food. They rarely get special orders correct. That's very accurate. They don't get their orders correct all the time. I don't know why people would deliberately go to a fast food joint. And again, that's more of why I'm saying this guy did this for the lawsuit. Spoiler alert, he wanted to sue them. That's what it's all about. An onion allergy is just nature telling you to give up, says AP. Ironically, the reason we found the onion allergy story is because the Not the Onion April Fool's Day joke was them saying the news has gotten so ridiculous that they're now a website dedicated to stories and news about people not liking, not having, and not things not containing onion. And someone put that in as a submission. I wouldn't have found out about it any other way. So thank you, April Fool's Day. I get fast food for its fine dining experience. That's sad. That's sad. I've cut back on fast food a lot, and I need to do it more. I'm looking at the dividends now of being super frugal and not having stuff, and I'm like, yep, gotta do that more. That'll make life a little better if we can just start pinching some more pennies. So, alrighty. I was kind of a tease to Digger because I was talking to her before the show. And I was like, "You could be on the program today," and she's like, "Oh, I got stuff to do." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm just kidding." But then I kept telling her about all the stories we were gonna do, and she kept telling me about how she wanted to be part of the stories and part of the show for those stories. So I was like, "Yeah, well, we'll see." And then she's like, "Yeah, I don't got time to get ready. Never mind." I'm like, it's cool. But then I just kept teasing her with, "Well, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this." She's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch. I got dusting to do." And I'm like, "Yep. It's fine. It's cool. I understand. But we're going to talk about this, just so you know." So I don't know if she'll pop back in for this one, but we have another Canadian story just coming up. Absolutely. Yep, we got that covered. Hams and beef ready for smoker. Easter dinner will be nice. Well, that's nice, buddy. I hope you have a great Easter dinner. I just got contacted by my folks about Easter dinner, so I'm going to see about doing that. Getting out, hanging out with the fam, Easter dinner. We'll see. So yes, this next story is out of America, but it's about Canada. So people that dislike ICE say, we shouldn't have ICE arresting these people. Well, congratulations, guys. ICE nabs one of Canada's most wanted murder suspects in Mississippi. So now he's a suspect for murder, wanted in Canada, arrested in Mississippi. Can we not deport him? I mean, literally, we just have to walk him back over the border. Who actually dusts, says King Kong Tong. Digger does. Digger dusts. Digger dusts. Maybe not all the time, but she gets to a limit where she dusts. I don't know about you, but if you have kids, you dust because they touch shit. So you gotta dust, man. Suppose if you want to be a bag of shit, I don't recommend it, but you could dust as high as they could reach. But as they grow, you're going to have to dust more anyway. Just stay on top of it and do the goddamn dusting. Dusting is going well. PC clean, yay. Now for the rest of the house, LOL. And hey out. Yeah, welcome back. Trump backed it up yesterday, and the market says so. About what? We need Albertan independence. That would be funny. That would be an interesting thing to do. We'll see if that happens. If we get Alberta, or Alberta just becomes independent and getting in there is easier, you know what? I'll move to Alberta. I'll boost the numbers in Alberta. Just for a bit. In dust, if you don't dust, disgusting. Oh, I dust. Yeah, dude, dusting is... If you have a lot of electronics, dusting is a good idea. If you have children, dusting is a good idea. I would just say for your overall health, dusting is a good idea. So yeah, I'm pro dusting. Just crop dusting, am I right?
You're a cunt.
Why is the chicken song playing? The ceiling fan, the curtain rods, and the grass. Yeah, you gotta get it all. I'm just saying my family in Alberta is not giving up their firearms anytime soon. Honestly, I don't recommend anyone giving up their firearms anymore. Like, it doesn't matter whether you support the current government or not. The cops have weapons, you don't. That's just a setup for you to have to do what they say. I use my shit enough to where the only thing that collects dust is my TV and PS5. I just Windex it. Like I said, if you got kids, you gotta dust. You gotta dust, man. If you don't, they're gonna find them fucking dust bunnies, and it's gonna be on food, and then they're gonna eat it, and then you're gonna have a problem. Just fucking dust, all right? What are you lazy for? How bad do you want to live in squalor? Just let's fucking dust, all right? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? I have 3, says King Kong Dong. Yeah, so you're probably dusting pretty regularly, because, you know, if you don't, they will unintentionally. It's a bad time for everybody. All right, so we've got a story out of, again, Mississippi. According to Fox News, ICE agents arrested one of Canada's most wanted fugitives in Mississippi after the first-degree murder suspect allegedly snuck into the U.S. Adrian Vincent Walker was one of the top 25 international fugitives on the run before DHS caught up with him for illegal entry and possessing a firearm. Walker was also wanted by the Toronto Police Service for a May 7th, 2024 shooting in the city. So he was arrested on March 23rd. Why is the news about it getting out now? He's previously arrested and served 3 years in Canadian prison for aggravated assault. He entered the U.S. illegally at an unknown date and time. Oh, dude. One of the responses to the post on it. The FBI caught our cartel boss. The FBI caught our Brampton drug trafficker. ICE just caught our most wanted murderer. At this point, U.S. law enforcement does more for Canadian public safety than Canada does. Oh. That's not nice. It might be accurate, though. It might be very, very accurate. At any rate, how long do you think he'll actually serve now that we caught him? We caught him here. I hope nobody's going to fight us deporting a Canadian. Like, it's not like we're sending him super far. We're not sending him to the third circle of hell or even a third world country. We're sending this dude back to Canada. Like, why? Because he's wanted for murder in Canada. I feel like we should be able to gather around the bonfire of going, oh, a guy who fled the country because he killed somebody just literally jumped the next one over. We can send him back. If we can't throw this fish back, who can we throw back? Lexi, what did she have to say about it? Let's all dust this weekend and thank Digger for the motivation. I won't be dusting. I'm already rearranging, which involves a fair amount of cleaning in and of itself. I'm already rearranging for my daughter's Easter festivities. Let's just say there's a plan in place for little one's Easter. It's a little bit of a tradition. And so far as I know, that tradition is being maintained. Yay, he came through Detroit if he's from Toronto, says AP. I mean, he might have. He might have gone a different way, and that's why they didn't catch him when he jumped the border. Any number of options are possible, but the simple fact is, again, we're going to have people bitching we can't send this guy back to Canada. I argue why. It's not like we're sending him to a place laden with well, I suppose there are some gangs. I don't know. They've got their own internal strife, but overall, come on, it's Canada. We can't send back the Canadian guy. Matthew Q, sending somebody to Canada is almost like Dante's Inferno. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad joke, Mr. Q. Dante's Inferno? I mean, if you're being like sarcastic, it's like, heh, but not really. It's like, yeah, there's some stupid policies and stuff. Really got to tighten the bolt on this thing. Why does it? Nope, it's not you. You're what's shaking. It's not that. This. Is there a way to tighten this thing? Is there any way to tighten this son bitch? Alrighty. We used to have a rabbit for Easter dinner when I was a kid, says King Kong Dong. That seems weird. Like, it's like, well, I suppose turkey's the symbol of Thanksgiving and we eat a turkey. So you know what? I take it back. It's not weird. Sending someone to Canada is like sending someone to England, the same thing. I wouldn't argue it's the same thing. It's similar. It's similar for sure. But you guys have way more restrictions on weapons than Canada does. Case in point, they're trying to get a little bit harder on the restrictions in Canada now, and it's finally getting a revolution time over there. King Kong Dong gets the joke. What are you talking about? I don't get what he's saying. All right, anyways. Canada can't have shovels. Yes, and people in Canada are seceding from Canada for reasons like the government says you can't have shovels. You guys are watching your king and queen tell you that the religion that they are at the top of is going to be ignored, and they're distancing themselves from religion whilst simultaneously kissing the feet of a religion of the immigrants coming into their country, which is a horrible message to give out because it seems very two-faced. And again, like I said, there's parts that are trying to secede in Canada. Are you guys rising up at England at all? Yeah, it's just literally not the same thing, St. Caesar. That's all we're doing. Murder charge in Canada consists of bumping into someone and not saying sorry, says Lab Class. I mean, I think it's a little bit more than that. But yeah, he's wanted for murder. So hopefully they'll get to, you know, take him out, take him down, do your stuff. I will eat rabbit if available for Easter. I love fried rabbit. I imagine rabbit is probably very delicious. But, yeah, I've never had rabbit. But considering that it is a grass and, like, grain-fed herbivore, I suppose, are they an omnivore? They don't really aim for meat, but they'll eat meat, right? I don't know. You know what I know? I know I don't know. AP says rabbit is amazing. I know they're soft little sons of bitches. I raised 3 of them for a foster thing for the Humane Society a while back. Soft little bunnies. Oh, bunnies are so soft. You know, there are a few things as fun as petting bunnies. If you can have an outdoor like rabbit cage, like there are a few things that is awesome as petting rabbits. So fucking soft. Alrighty. Florida Vice Mayor found dead in her home. Let's find out about this. This is our last serious story. I'm sorry, I forgot we had this.
Dead in her home Wednesday morning, and police say her husband is in custody in connection with the case.
Oh, so at least now we know what's going on.
Incident. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, is in our custody. There are no additional suspects at this time.
Court records show Bowen has been charged with premeditated murder and tampering with evidence. It's unclear if he has an attorney. Nancy Mateer Bowen became the first Black and Haitian American woman elected to the Coral Springs Commission in 2020. And
I didn't know that was the case when we went into this. I didn't know that was the case. Black and Haitian elected in 2020. Oh boy, Hassan Pfeffer is so good, says AP. I imagine it could be.
Was appointed to her second term as vice.
I've tried frog legs before. Those were way better than I thought they'd be.
Mayor in 2025. Her colleagues remembered her as compassionate and committed.
She truly cared about people, even when people were saying some of the most horrible things about her and us. She still cared, rolled up her sleeves, went to every event.
All
that
right,
she could
hold
go
the
to.
fuck on. But you do realize, while people were saying a lot of horrible things about her and you, there are a lot of people in your community that did stuff that egged that on too. I always hate how they act like it was just one-sided and she took so many slings and arrows. Like, right, but you guys had people that did make asses of you publicly. So, look, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Plus, don't be a public figure and expect not to get shit on.
Florida Congressman Jared Moskowitz said she was about to announce a run for Congress, writing on X, "Nancy was one of the nicest people I worked with, always fighting for her
She was going to
community,
announce a
always
run
pushing
for
to help.
Congress?
She had
Oh, no. Get her husband a Medal of Honor, says King Kong Dong. Why? That's so mean. That, sir, that I cannot endorse that. That is mean. No. Shame on you. For shame. There are several French recipes that use rabbit. Most look pretty tasty, but I need Digger to pronounce them. Yeah, we were talking about French words this morning, and she does not like how I pronounce them. She does not like how I pronounce French words. So it's all good. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Good idea, Johnny. I never said that. You said get her husband a Medal of Honor. I read that comment out loud. I never said get her a Medal of Freedom. I never said that at all. That's you saying that, which is a little a little hurtful, man. Like the lady's not even cold by 2 days, and you want to be like that? That is a dick move, sir. How could you? This is insensitive. By all rights, she's a future part of Congress.
Matayer Brown's family said she was a, quote, cherished member of the family and a dedicated public servant. Adding, quote, to us, she was a source of strength, wisdom, and love, someone who always put others before herself. Bowen also faced personal tragedy. Her brother, Donovan Matayer, died by suicide in December after a years-long battle with schizophrenia. According to the family, he was a survivor of the 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Earlier this year, Matayer Bowen was recognized with a community award where she spoke about overcoming division.
I firmly believe that our collective strength lies in our ability to show up for one another. We send a powerful message that belonging is not conditional and that our shared humanity is stronger than any force that seeks to divide us.
The Coral Springs Police Department.
I got some people in some tiny hats to show you that said hold my beer to that statement. So yeah, the husbands who they suspect for it. Florida vice mayor was running for Congress. That's a shame. That's a shame. They say the terrorist Tlaib is a nice person. She's a shitbag human. I don't know who Tlaib is. I find humor in everything, says King Kong Dong, so future insider trader. Got it. Well, no, not really. No loss to... Oh, AP. Scruffy, it sounds like she's been here for a while, like before that group, but I get you. I know enough Portuguese, Spanish, and Latin to get me into trouble, but that's about it. Unfortunately, using Spanish are pretty much the same. Damn thing, it's just there to know to speak. I have no idea what you're talking about. The husband caught her cheating, calling it now. Am I a piece of shit for seeing the husband thinking, oh yeah, I could see that guy being a beater like that? No offense, like he's alleged to have been assaulting her. He definitely is a suspect in her passing, so I don't feel too much like an asshole for saying, in my opinion, I could see him being a hitter. Which I do not stand for. Don't hit ladies. Ladies are not for punching. So, all right, we have that. We did that. The Florida vice mayor. Just, Jesus. It's really hard to get through the day without talking about a lot of serious stuff at the end of the week especially. So we've gotten a lot of things that are half serious, whatever. We got a story about Artemis 2. We've been kind of keeping people up on that. A lot of divisiveness on whether or not there are actually astronauts in space. People are saying fake, CGI. It's all part of the pulling the wool over your eyes. I'm still out on it. I'm currently on the side of believing it's real because I want to. But we're still in the gray area where you could prove that it's all a lie. So we'll find out. It's all fakes. See, that's what I'm saying. Scruffy, we need a minimum IQ requirement to live here. I'll say this. She spoke well enough that I think she could have passed that IQ requirement, Scruffy. It wasn't like she was one of the like Haitians we brought over in the last couple of years. She's been here for a while. They launched a moon mission on April 1st. Come on, man. Right, like I get that joke, and that's a thing. They didn't do that because it was April 1st. It was about the weather and whether or not the weather was right for it. They had a, a finite window. They had to aim for it. That's just what they got, man. But see what I mean? This is what people are saying. Oh, it's all fake. It's fake. I'm hoping it's not. I want to live in the world where it's not fake. We'll find out. Distraction from Iran is this space mission. Well, they had this planned before Iran. So either they planned to do Iran at the same time so this could run cover. It's not like we started waging war with Iran. Like, you know what? We're going to launch a rocket into space. We've decided. I have no idea what the hell that is about. All right. Anyways, so we've got a video for you of people rescuing a great white shark. I understand wanting to save animals, but when they're predatory, I don't know, man. But apparently a great white shark was caught in a net. And I bet we're going to get an ad. So we're going to... Yep. Oh, it's a stupid advertisement. Johnny, they do that shit all the time. Nothing is coincidence with our government. All right, so then you're saying for a while they've been planning to go to war with Iran, and this all just came about. Damn it, man. Where's the... hate these stupid ads. Now I can't start the story without you being a cunt. Here we go. So let's see if there's audio for it. There is. Thank the Lord. So that's the shark. Apparently he's stuck in a net. So you wrangled the shark, you got it out. Everyone's watching because we're expecting you to get eaten. Dude, now go with it, tumbleweed. Are you going to help or not, asshole? No, I'm sorry. I'm so invested in this. I want to see the shark make it. Dude. Ah, yes. Look away from the giant murder fish. I mean, it's not big enough to eat you yet. But it will be someday. It's a little baby great white shark that apparently got caught on somebody's line. And you... They don't like going backwards. That's not their normal motion. Dude, you're sitting here with this giant side of tuna on the beach just fucking rolling the dice, man. This is how you have to explain to somebody how you lost a foot. Well, I was trying to help a shark. I've got a really novel idea. How about after the tide crests in, you start dragging him in when the water's high?
Yeah.
Come on, Bessie. Come on. We believe in you. Come on, Willie. Free Willie. All right, there he goes. Oh, yeah. Now you got everyone's approval. Yay, hooray. That shark is going to eat the next fucking person he sees. The next fucking person. He's confused as fuck. He's had the weirdest experience of his life. He's got sand in his gills.
Yeah, I saw that.
Walk your ass onto the beach with a mouthful of razor blades, for fuck's sake. Right?
Okay.
People suck at filming, all turning away from the action. This, I believe, was in California. We'll look in a minute. I believe California or Florida. They don't get great whites in California, do they? So it'd probably be Florida. Let's say Florida. Video captured the moment. Southern California. I should have stuck with my first guess. Southern California.
Here's why you should switch
No,
to
I
Google
stopped
to
airing the
DuckDuckGo
story.
on all your devices.
Don't play another story. All right, so they were plunged into southern surf, wrestle a thrashing shark to free it from his fishing line. Kevin Fan, 20, reportedly fishing about 9 a.m. local time when the sea dog caught his line from a nearby pier. In a video captured by beachgoers, Fan was seen rushing to the shoreline to untangle the flailing predator. He appeared to be dangerously close as he attempted to cut the line from the shark's mouth. Yeah, we saw all that. So then he freed him. He suffered minor cuts and scrapes, but was otherwise unharmed. So the shark did come at you. Saw a bunch of people over there. I ran down like there's something going on. When he told KTLD, he was in his underwear. He said that he was the second one of the day. So you've gotten a couple of sharks? Why? All right. Don't know if I'm going to be coming here as often because of that, George Lamb told the news station. Mostly just here for smaller fish. Something to get a quick bite. Well, I mean, anywhere you're going to fish, you're going to attract sharks. That's how that works. All right. Well, at least he freed him. He freed him. Freedom. The biggest great whites are in Cali. King Kong Dog, that's animal cruelty. Most sea creatures beach themselves to get oxygen or die, and they are being drowned when people put them back in. That shark was dragged up onto shore because of a fishing line. So that shark was not trying to beach himself. That shark got pulled onto the beach by the fishing line that dude was untangling. Like, that's what dragged him onto the shore. So I would say probably not that situation. Missed the fishing part. My bad. It's all good. It's all good. It was a little bit of a lengthy video. All good in the hood, buddy. All right. For the U.S., I should add Cali has the biggest great whites. Scruffy, sharks get oxygen from water. Only mammals need air. I wasn't gonna say it. You know, like, how many times have I said stupid shit on this show? Am I right? So we can't really call out other people for stupid bullshit. I just, I was like, look, just overall, I had another point that completely refuted his point. I didn't have to get there. I didn't have to take it to that level. So I was like, let them believe islands float. Sometimes love is letting them believe islands float. You can't imagine something like that and refute it just because it's preposterous. It's because you care. You gotta kind of skate around it. Sharks get yep, we already did that. For the US, Cali, we covered that. So we're good with all that. Great. So you saved the shark. Hooray, the great white is okay. If not, he's fucking dead, I guess. I don't know. I believe it's real. I have to believe it's real. I just saw the rocket go up in the sky, says Jesse. It's been up in the sky for a while. I saw a video of it launching like 2 days ago. But yes, I want to believe that the Artemis mission is real. I want to believe that they're going to set up a base on the moon. I want to believe that humans can move beyond this planet. All of those fun scientific facts. I know people argue a lot to the contrary. So, well, you know what? We'll fucking see, I guess. That's one of the perks of staying on this side of the soil. I get to see what happens next. It's kind of like a reality show. I hate all the characters involved, and I think a lot of them are dirtbag pieces of shit. But for some reason, unbeknownst to me, I can't stop watching this train wreck continue down the tracks. So I'm like, well, let's see where we go from here. Let's figure out what the next horrible, unspeakable thing is going to be. Let's find out. All right, we got an hour and a half left in the program. Thank you for joining us. This seems like as good a time as any to remind you that next Friday, a week from today, we're going to be doing our Torture Johnny GoFundMe stream where we bring back the wheel. I'm going to have the tasers. We're going to do all the fun stuff. I've got the kippers already. We're going to make sure we have plenty of Marmite. We've got the Vegemite. We'll have the rando shots. We'll have the whole thing. So that's all coming back next week. Our funding's already on to $25 on Thursday or on Wednesday, the 8th. So we're already getting great towards being there and ready to go for the whole thing. And that gets us ahead. So we just do fun little shows like this and people throw in when they want to and have fun. They're going to awaken the hive. What, on the moon? Is the hive on the dark side? Is the hive the dark side of the moon, aliens? I don't know all of the lore. But if they awaken the hive, then that would explain the human alien forced hybridization. We just need the hawk moon if that happens, says AP. Oh, me, how did I miss the Destiny joke that Scruffy made? Fuck. You deserve this, dude. You fucking piece of shit. Duh, the hive in the moon, asshole. I'm disappointed with myself. I think they were just in tunnels under the surface, says Scruffy. The third Transformer movie covers the moon stuff, Johnny. I don't care for the Transformers movies. I kind of didn't bother with the Transformers movies. It's just a better way to be, you know? I saw the first one, and I went, and we're out. I've seen pieces of all the rest. Oh, wait, I take that back. I did watch the Beast Wars one. Wasn't happy with that either. The way they executed Beast Wars still kind of sucked. I'm sure the Hellmouth can be found, says AP. Right, but the question is whether or not our guardians and our ghosts are up to doing it. Actually, if we're following that lore, we can't awaken the hive yet because the hive isn't on the moon yet because we still have to discover the what was the Traveler floating on Mars. We still have to have an astronaut land on Mars and look up and see the Traveler just kind of fucking with shit on Mars and go, hey. And then apparently that was the thing that's always weird to me. So we find the Traveler on Mars. The Traveler comes to this solar system, and it goes to the planet that has, like, zero actual life on it. And it just hangs out there. And then we see it, and we bring it back to our planet. But it has cognizant will of its own, but it never moves. But wait a minute, what? I don't get it. That's coming, says AP. Right? And I just can't wait to be reawoken as a guardian. I would like to be an XO. So if I can be turned into an XO and then reawakened as a guardian, that's living my best life. That's all I need. I know exactly what shell my ghost needs to have. Give me my last word pistol and we'll call it a day. AP, I'd love to have a ghost buddy to fix me. You know what the saddest part is? I'll have a ghost buddy to fix me, but it'll be this current me, so my legs are still shit. I have a ghost buddy to fix me, but I'm in a wheelchair, so you can kill me and I'll come back to life, but I still need a ramp. All right, that's... No. He's an undying hero of humanity. Yeah, but he needs a chair with wheels on it, okay? So 2 of one, a half dozen of the other, we still have a problem. There are several French recipes. Oh, we already covered the recipes of rabbit. All right, so yeah, we have an hour and a half left in the show. We have a couple of different things to talk about. We do have the NASA space mission stuff. We'll see how they're doing. Last we touched base with Artemis 2, they had a shitter problem, and apparently now they flushed that issue right out. So the crapper works, and now we're just talking with them again. This is all made up and fake. If you believe the conspiracy theories, it's all legit, 100% real. If you believe the space science nerds, and I just hope it's the latter of the two, because I'm skeptical but tarded. Support Johnny's Exo Dreams. Yes, support my Exo Dreams. PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, prayers to the old gods, whatever it takes. LOL. It's good that the ghost can bring you back from bone. Even less, actually. Well, again, like I just really want to be an XO. Like I want to be a robot. Like those robots are cool. What the hell? I unmuted our space story. Space.
Now to Artemis 2 and its moonbound astronauts. And liftoff. Since its picture-perfect launch yesterday, the crew waking up today to John Legend's Green Light.
Give me the green light.
Because the pussy ain't shit. Their breathtaking view of
Why
Earth.
is that in Portal?
About 38,000 nautical miles, the entire half of the Earth is spectacular.
Tonight, the 4 astronauts completing what's called a translunar injection burn.
We have the start of the translunar injection burn.
Firing up a final engine that will push them out of the Earth's orbit and blast them to the moon for the first time since 1972.
With this burn to the moon, we do not leave Earth, we choose it.
History unfolding along with a history-making crew. And now an interview all the way from space with the astronauts themselves.
Right, we did this before. This is, the thing that the conspiracy theory people get me with. So you're telling me that we had the ability to have a let's talk about hanging out in space with our astronauts thing, like, in the 60s. So this one ought to be interesting. There's an exosuit for the hips, thighs, and knee area. Right? Let's get me one of those. There's more to this Earth than meets the eye, says Saint Caesar. Oh, because it's a transformer, robots in disguise?
It's ABC's Gio Benitez.
It's just incredible. You're on the way to the moon right now. What is it that you're feeling?
Well, first and foremost, we all wanted to give a shout out to our families first, because we are pretty far from Earth.
All right, so there's no delay, but then this could have been pre-recorded and the questions have been announced. I don't know. Questions.
We have not gotten to say hi to them yet. But there was a moment about an hour ago where Mission Control Houston reoriented our spacecraft as the sun was setting behind the Earth. And I don't know what we all expected to see in that moment, but you could see the entire globe from pole to pole. You could see Africa, Europe, and
you could see the gravity well that's at the South Pole that we don't tell the normies about, where we awoke in a great ancient civilization from another planet.
As if you looked really close,
it'd be nice if he just leaned in and started spoiling all the beans on that shit. This is one of those things where, now I don't believe the conspiracy theories, but God, if I could get up into a spaceship to like watch the Earth rotate and see the South Pole from an orbital view.
See the Northern Lights. It was the most spectacular moment, and it paused off orbit.
They're still in orbit during this. Yeah, they're still in orbit, so there's no delay. Never give a woman the job of saying something profound. You could see the daycare centers everywhere. I don't know. Can we tell them about Lemura yet? No? Okay, ixnay that. We're on the waxing gibbous today. That is one of the prime points of seeing the moon. It's a very important point. That's why we do it. Oh, 28.7 days for each full moon cycle, says Mr. Q. So yeah, again, like people are like, oh, they launched on April 1st. Like that's the way the timing worked out. You know what? You know what? That's not the government pulling a joke on you. That's God pulling a cosmic joke on you, going, ha ha, I'm gonna sit here and watch, because by the time you guys can finally do this the right way, it's gonna be April 1st and nobody's gonna believe you. How do you feel when people doubt your existence and they see you performing miracles? Because I've been doing it for decades and I still get shit on. Like, that's what God's doing. And you know what? I understand his sentiment.
In our tracks.
What do you want to tell Americans here at home who are watching this right now?
First and foremost, I would just like to say thank you. Your support and trust.
Who was it? Who said that? Saint Caesar, how good is Starlink on that rocket? I had this thought too, and this is probably because I'm a selfish nerd. I saw this and I thought, like, the internet connection signal, is it better or worse when you're in low Earth or high Earth orbit? Like, can I have a better WoW raid signal? Could I, like, do better in PvP if I could just get into orbit before the match? Dude, he's pinging like you wouldn't believe, right? Because it's like the signal only has to go half as far, just straight up and then right back down. It'd be great. That's why I could never be an astronaut. I need to be able to get my WoW fix in. You know, I got to run some delves. I got to run some dungeons, do my house decor. I spend a lot of time on the house decor. I spend a lot of time organizing, building, and cleaning a virtual house. Matthew Q, God bless you and your family. To everybody, how good would my Fortnite aim be? I don't know. Nice freeze frame. Why? What's wrong with the freeze frame? She's got a fucking bottle of water or something. She's happy. They're all happy. It does kind of look like he either cut a fart or they're planning something. Well, it's called a spit roast in 0G, I guess, but let's go.
Us has enabled this, and so many people that have worked for so long to make this possible. But also, we're just getting started. We have a lot of mission left ahead of us, and so I really want to tell them.
Yeah, no, okay. We have a lot of mission left ahead of us. No shit. The whole point of this is going to the moon. We haven't even started the "you're heading there" part yet. Of course there's a lot left. I would say, I would dare to hazard, a majority of your project is yet undone because you're still in the Earth's orbit. Oh my God. Look, I just want to thank everybody for their support, and there's a lot of mission left to do. Oh, really, G. Will? Oh, fucking look at the fucking pearls of wisdom out of left field from this butt nugget. Are you kidding me? AP, T-minus 10 minutes before the gangbang. She's so unfortunate. You know what? Actually, she's not unfortunate. They are. Why is there? That looks like a face now. I got to play this because
stay tuned and keep
that bag looks like a face.
Keep tabs on what's going on.
Jeremy, I know this is your first time in space, and you're surrounded by all of these space vets. What's it been like for you that this is your first mission there?
There has been a tremendous amount of disbelief for me.
All right, so we've been at this for like 2 or 3 minutes. I will say this. If this were a fake, like they're in the airplane doing the 0G burns thing, they would eventually hit the part where they crash down and take a little bit of a heavy G ride. So it's weird. They would have had to film this in successive parts. I don't know, man. How do you fake 0G for a prolonged period of time in a single steady shot?
It's just so extraordinary. I just kept saying to them yesterday, like, I really like it.
All right, so I'm looking at this cramped craft, by the way, and I'm curious, where is the shitter? Is it in this hole? Where's the crapper that y'all busted? And I want dirt. Well, maybe that's the wrong term. I want details. Who's the one who broke it? Like they said the fan was obstructed or stuck. Somebody clogged the shitter. Who clogged the shitter? Who had way too much oatmeal that morning and clogged the crapper? Space Glaze says Free Fun. Oh no, her face got space glazed. That sounds like the title of a really bad adult film, Space Glazers. They're an alien race that travels across the universe. They are the Space Glazers. She's taking a shit right now, Johnny. I don't think so because her pants are up. So St. Caesar, I'm going to press exit out. Oh, so that's like a little head with a hat. This is becoming creepier by the minute. Is that a baggie? Is there stuff in there? Or did she literally have to bring her little Hug Me toy? Who at Taco Bell 24 hours before lunch? Okay, who ate a extra helping of asparagus last night? I don't know who you are, but I can smell it, and I hate you. It's her lucky 8-ball. I don't know, man. That's way more than 8.
Here.
There's a couple
I wish I
8
coulda
balls
got
in
here
there.
Sooner. It's just such a tremendous place to be. The views are extraordinary. It's really fun to be floating around, and
Okay, again in the thank you for the most obvious statement ever. Yeah, it's really fun to be floating around. Who wouldn't enjoy just floating around? But if I can just interject for a minute, buddy. You look like you're wedged in there so much that you can't get out. I don't think you're floating. You look like you're pretty well affixed into this particular spot. There does not appear to be a whole hell of a lot of you room in here. So, no offense, homie. You ain't floating. She brought a puppet on the spacecraft, but there's a drawstring at the top of him.
it just makes me feel like a little kid.
Because I agree, that's what it looks like, Freak 597. She looks like she brought her bedtime cozy buddy animal that you should have grown out of a long time ago with her onto the spaceship. But again, what's the drawstring for?
There was a little bit of an issue with the toilet. Which one of you was the plumber?
I'll take that one. I'm the space plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So
okay, yeah, you're the space plumber. Great, you fixed the toilet. Hooray, America is saved. She's a hero. If this guy does not have the fucking cojones to ask after this, who clogged the crapper? Which one? All right, so she fixed it. So unless she fixed her own problem, which I would be all for, who clogged the crapper? Ooh, you know what could have been her? She could have had those. Some ladies have those, like, rancid PMS poops. Maybe that's what it was. Ugh. But again, which one of these three beef buses? You know what? He keeps smirking. My money's on this guy. My money's on you, buddy. I don't remember which one of you is the Canadian, if it's him or her, or him or him. But one of you is the Canadian. I think it's this guy. You did it. You clogged the crapper. My money's on blonde Smirky McSmirkerson in the background here. Hey, Robin, how's your beaver? Busy as ever, says Amy. It's about to get kinky. Space Glazers. Thank you, Freak 597. You know what? I don't know where Digger's at, but I that's one of those. I wish she was here. She could have really rolled with Space Glazers, considering how much she went with adult sign language interpreter. Space Glazers could have been fun. Johnny, you hear that she's the space plumber. She's got to deal with all those pipes. Yeah, she's got to clean all those pipes. Again, Space Glazers. But who fired the butt nugget that clogged the damn thing?
plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine.
I see that you're very cozy in there. It's tight quarters, but it was also a little chilly, I heard.
F you, we're not done with the space plumber question. There's follow-up there, sir. Who clogged the crapper? Because need I remind you, they have like 8 or 9. Well, no, not 8 or 9. They launched 2 days ago. They have 8 days. They have 8 days left on this mission to the moon. That's 8 days that whoever did this, 8 days. Whoever our culprit is, again, my money's on Mr. Blondie in the back in the bathroom with way too much fiber. Like, that's who I'm guessing pulled this, all right? Somebody could do it again. You could be landing on the moon And while 3 of you are out doing a moonwalk, performing tests, he's in there blowing up the bathroom at 1/6 of Earth's gravity. And y'all come back to a frickin' plugged toilet again. We need to know who the problem is and how we can be assured that they aren't dropping any more frickin' A-bombs from orbit, gumming up the works. That frozen asteroid is orbiting the Earth now. And in other news, Elon Musk had to announce that due to an unforeseen asteroid, Starlink services are temporarily suspended for a short amount of time. They are working to restore the problem as quickly as possible. There is a big maple syrup scandal. What, going on right now? She ain't shitting for 8 days. I hope not. Remember when porn stars wanted to have sex in space, Johnny? I don't. I'm pretty sure you're the only one who remembers that. She looks like a thickened. I don't know what that is, Freak Fan. I would love to have a go. Wow. You guys are all getting pervy. Again, I'm still worried that
it is quite cold, and
the toilet's
we're
gonna
wishing
clog.
we had the lower temperature sleeping bags with us. Houston's been working with us to change fan speeds and temperature set points, and we've actually been able to warm it up a lot better in the last half a day or so.
How is it that you take a nap in there? What does sleeping even look like?
We've been off the planet for about 30 hours now, and we've had 2 very short naps. We actually just gathered for our first meal together in space. That is how busy we have been the last day and a half. It has been really an amazing beginning flight plan. But sleeping here is it's actually
It's not a bag. It's a fucking toy. She brought her fucking space cozy.
sort of comical. Christina has been sleeping heads down in the middle of the vehicle, kind of like a bat suspended from our docking tunnel. Victor's been up where Jeremy is right now. He's got a nice little nook wedged in there. And then Jeremy has been stretched out on seat 1, and I've been sleeping under the displays just in case anything goes wrong. It's more comfortable than you would think, and it's nice. It's nice.
Well, yeah, because you're kind of floating, but still, we don't give a shit. We want to know who clogged the crapper. They are comfortable up there They are too comfortable up there for my liking, Johnny. Well, don't worry, they're still on the way. Gonna be a streak across the night sky. Make a wish. Okay, show us the food.
Again.
Do you feel the weight of history knowing that you're going to be traveling farther than any other human?
It's
What are you talking about? Traveling farther than any other human. They're going as far. Didn't we do this thing to the moon in the 60s? Hold on a minute, buddy. I think you might have your facts wrong.
and it's nice. It's nice to sleep in weightlessness again.
Do you feel
Did you just let the secret, like the quiet part out loud?
the weight of history knowing that you're going to be traveling farther than any other human?
It's a remarkable thing.
Oh, we just cut there. That's interesting. The mic was floating over here. He asked the question. We cut to the feed and the mic jumped. God damn it. Now I'm Zabrudering this interview and I'm already finding too many plot holes. So he asked the question. The mic's floating in the air. We cut to dude's answer. The mic suddenly, we didn't see him grab it. He's exposing the goddamn business, Johnny. I think he is. Johnny wants to know. Johnny wants to know. I don't know what those asterisk words are. All right. So if it's actually happening, they're going where the moon is farther away from any attempt they've done previously. I mean, well, that's just a weird way to word it, I guess. And I was so wrong.
You would think it would be weighty, but I
was so wrong.
Feel
That's
like
the
we're
Canadian
lifted
guy.
up by the team.
But now here's my problem believing it's real. The mic was floating in a circle and spinning, and it suddenly jumped clickety clack to his hand. Watch.
Plays just in case anything goes wrong. and it's nice. It's nice to sleep in weightlessness again.
Do you feel
All right, so he does the weight of history bullshit.
you're going to be traveling
Spinning.
farther than any other human?
You know, it's
Immediately, these two things change places. How does that happen? If this is a live interview and you're talking to them live, how does that happen?
it's a remarkable thing. It's you would think it would be weighty, but we just feel like we're lifted up by the team that supports us, and you just sort of execute the plan. A lot of people telling us how to work this and manage this vehicle, and a lot of great training, and you just kind of go step by step, which I think is pretty remarkable what this team can do, and it really highlights their excellence.
I think I just want to add, we just got done our translunar injection burn, and it was pretty tense moments there. It was pretty tense moments there for a second.
I can't. I'm not sold that this is really happening. My best answer was like, you can't keep doing this. Like the airplane loop gravity weightlessness thing has a finite window on it. You can't do it indefinitely. But that jump cut there, that gave me room to doubt. That gave me room to doubt. Now I'm not sure they're really doing it. NASA has lied since its inception, says Rusty Grammar. Let's go back over on the chat over here. Where does the Easter Bunny get his eggs from? Eggplants. Thank you, Wild Sapper. What do you get when you cross a bunny with a French general? Neapolitan bunny part. What's the angriest vegetable? Steamed carrots. Jokes for Mr. Q. Hope that helps, as Wild Saffron. I hope that does help. There you go, Mr. Q. Wild Saffron trying to help you out. What clogged the crapper? Did someone lose a butt plug? I don't think anyone lost a butt plug. I think somebody had a beef and bean burrito from their favorite burrito joint, didn't realize how big it was and how much of a log would be at the end of that journey. And let's just say when they finished their hike, they had one hell of a piece of lumber to show for it. They are in Hollywood. Space is gay. I don't know, man. NASA has lied. It's edited. Right, but they're doing the floating bit. They're doing the floating bit. How are they doing the floating bit? Her hair's floating. They look like they could be easily doing this by sitting upside down, but then everything would naturally go up. Her hair would go straight up. Her hair's not going straight up. Her hair's going straight out. So this floating bit, and I don't like how much this floating bit could be done with the whole take an airplane up and then just fly down at the ground really fast. You'll break Johnny. Come over to the tinfoil side. I have your hat ready for you, says Digger. Yes, Johnny, join us over here. I don't know, man. Once I saw the mic hop on screen, now I went, all right. You're giving me room to work with it. Scruffy, trust the science, trademarked. Just trust the government scientists, right, Fauci? It's not even that I'm trusting the government scientists. It's that they're showing me something, and I'm believing what I'm seeing. Out of a, again, selfish desire to believe that we live in that world. And I'm entirely aware that that might not be the case.
And when we got done that burn, we just kind of looked at each other as a crew. We have been to the moon before.
They're not landing on the moon. Why do they need the portal thing?
1968 through 1972. It's been a long time since we've been back. And I got to tell you, there is nothing normal about this. Sending 4 humans.
72. So since 72. So that's 30 to 2002. That's 50 to 2022. We're at 2026. So we're at 54 years later. Okay.
250,000 miles away is a Herculean effort. And we are now just realizing the gravity of that.
Yeah. There is no gravity, though. You're in space. What do you mean you're realizing the gravity? You should be realizing and noticing a distinct lack of gravity. Sir, you're giving up the game yet again. There's no gravity out there. Rusty Grammar. It's edited. Thank you,
Most
Wild Saffron,
excited
says
about
Mr.
once
Q.
you get to
Mr.
the
Q, very grateful. They're going around the moon, then coming back home. Then, yeah, why do they?
Having just experienced incredible views of planet Earth and seeing the entire planet out the window in one pane, knowing that we're about to have some similar views of the moon in that same way is definitely getting me more excited for it.
As you all know, there is so much division at home right now. What is it that you're feeling, and what message do you want to send to the Americans?
Division on what? Division on the Iran war, or division on whether or not this is fucking CGI and Lucasfilms produced? Like, that's again, this guy sucks. That is so vague. What divisiveness are you talking about?
People about what you're seeing out that window.
The first thing I would say is trust.
The first thing I would say is what I'm seeing out this window is probably the most impressive CGI studio that's ever been built. Did they film The Matrix here? This looks like where they did some of them movies, like The Avengers. Just gives up the game.
You look amazing. You look beautiful. And from up here, you also look like one thing. You know, Homo sapiens is all of us, no matter where
No,
you're
from up there, if you're as high as alleged, you can't see people. Like, you can't see people. You can't see singular people. You can't see the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini. You can't see Kyle. You can't see Pam, Marjorie, Taylor Greene. You can't see anybody. More like in Icarian effort, flying too close to the sun. Ooh, Icarus reference. Nice. She's a 3-input gal. MSO, how can you say that? That astronaut is AI, Johnny. Well, if this video's AI, then why don't any of them have multiple digits?
from, or you know, what you look like.
I'm used to extra fingers with my AI.
We're all one.
Okay, wait a minute. That came out wrong. It's not what I meant. Stop it.
People. And so, you know, this mission, one of the things that's amazing about being around and just being in
Scruffy, you can see Kyle in space. I don't think you can see Kyle in space. I think you're going to need some very, very, very powerful, like, telephoto lenses to really freaking zoom in to see Kyle from space. You can't, like I said, you can't see Kyle. You won't see Kyle's brother, Rob. All righty. Rusty Grammar, I still see Kyle. Well, he is one of your best friends. A guy I worked with that built the transmitters in Antarctica made this live feed possible, says Rusty Grammar. Are the transmitters in Antarctica what the signal bounces to? That's interesting. I guess study the moon, see what's going on in the moon, says Jesse ESP. Well, they're going to be doing several experiments. One, they're testing our current level of technology, and how well that gets people to the moon. And unless these dudes all die on the way there, I'm pretty sure we're going to keep going. We've already supposedly sent up supplies. We're supposed to be building a base on the moon. That's a thing. And someday it'll be it'll be Earth's favorite tourist destination. Welcome to Moon World, where you're on the moon, where we moon stuff.
Serving our countries at this time.
Show your ass on the moon. Mr. Moonskis doing the moon dance.
Is that we get to give ourselves a mission that we can hold on to say, hey, look at what we did for the rest of our lives. You know, we call amazing things that humans.
Right, but you're going to have to punch dudes in the face when they ask you to swear on a Bible that you went to the moon, and then when you don't, they say you never went to the moon and the moon landing is fake.
Do moonshots for a reason, because this.
Wait a minute. You guys all got drunk before. Wait a minute. You were doing moonshots? Look, NASA, I get it. It's a different time. It's a different day and age. We understand people can handle their liquor, but let's not do moonshots before we go on a mission.
Rest of our lives. You know, we call amazing things that humans do moonshots for a reason.
Oh, Jesus, I misheard you. And I don't think we do. Nobody calls amazing things that people do moonshots. I've never, if you're talking to me about moonshots, I'm like, look, is that where they use those really sweet fucking uber high BAC beverages and it's just like fruity and it glows, but I drink it and all I taste is like sugar and ass. And then 5 minutes later, I'm really fucked up. I don't want to do moonshots. Is there Jell-O involved? I don't want to do moonshots. Gravity is not necessary to see Kyle, says Rusty. Digger say, what's up? I mean, you know, what's up? Hit the thumbs up. I'm going back to Rumble. Well, you do what you got to do. It's just back shots while orbiting the moon. Those are moonshots. I didn't know that. So you're saying someone on that ship, and I know who my money's on, is getting a whole lot of moonshots. How do you know what ass tastes like, Johnny? It's a figure of speech. It's not a direct statement, Digger. It's a figure of speech.
Brought us together and showed us what we can do when we put, not just putting our differences aside, when we bring our
Colonel Jeremy Hansen is the first Canadian to the moon, says MSO. Yep, they're dead.
differences together and use all the strengths to
Oh,
accomplish
God, a Canadian and a black guy? It's like two unicorns in one boat. Now you're just tempting fate.
something great. And so this mission will give us one of those that we all can remember and hold on to for the rest of our days. And I hope people will tune in and give us a chance.
Oh, dude, no.
Integrity,
A lot of,
what an honor to
a lot
speak
of
with
people
you.
are going to tune in, and we're going to go back and forth over whether or not what we're seeing is actually happening. Thank you, AI, the internet, the advent of information on the fingertips, click of a button. You can get whatever you want to fill your echo chamber. Half of it's fake, the other half of it's crap, and the part of it that's real buggers belief half the time. So you never can tell. This is like watching wrestling promos that wasn't supposed to air but did. Well, you know, for you everything goes back to wrestling, so that's not a huge surprise. We do have an hour left. Was that? Oh no, we've got one last thing to report from the second hour. We got one last second hour story, which is nice because that means we're on pace. We're going to finish this up. We're going to wrap up the show at 4:30 and be done, and thank God. I don't know if I'm gaming this weekend or not. I have to check in with Awake Jimmy and them and what they're doing. It's Easter. I'm going to, in fact, I don't, you know what? I'm calling it now. I'm not gaming this weekend because I already told my mom I'd do Easter plans with her, and I've got Easter Sunday stuff with the kiddo. So I'm going to say, yeah, not having a game stream this weekend, unfortunately. No, we're not streaming on Easter. Thank God, Scruffy. I should have read that sooner instead of being a tard. Yeah, I'm not gaming on Easter. I got things to do that I'd rather do. So that's where we're at. Oh, I can figure out what part of the hair thing is. It's freaking green screen. Not covering me. But yeah, so we've got a couple of different things going on. This is the beginning of the movie Iron Sky, says Mr. Q. This is worse than the old sci-fi shows, says Scruffy. For fakeness, I don't think so. I think that was real. I thought they were really in space. Alice Cramden. Who's Alice Cramden? No idea. Confused. Anyways, so yeah, I'm not streaming on Easter, so we won't be on this weekend. So we will be back Monday. So I only have one more week today and one more week to remind you guys that our studio is sponsored by amazing independent viewers and their faux businesses. This one currently, Scruffy D's Salty Surprise. When you're in the mood for a treat to eat, I got a surprise for you. It's Scruffy D's Salty Surprise, and the surprise is it's delicious. You haven't You haven't tasted anything this amazing ever. So why are you waiting? Get it in your mouth as fast as possible. Scruffy D's Salty Surprise. Every delicious treat made by hand with bulk batch loads available to order. Scruffy D's Salty Surprise.
You're a cunt.
I just love that. I love that drop. I'm never going to stop playing it. I need to pass before Tuesday if possible. What? I don't know what we're talking about. I hope not. I would prefer you not. If we could, Capricorn 1. Oh, Capricorn because of the two unicorns. Right? It's scary. You've got the first Canadian ever taken to space. There's a reason we didn't trust those maple syrup suckers up in space before now. We let them build the Canadarm just so they could be involved, but we don't bring Canadians in space. That's not okay. We made a special exception for Shatner, and that's only because he played Captain Kirk. That's only because he played Captain Kirk. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna be taking Easter off to spend with the fam. So yeah, I won't be Johnny. I'm gonna be playing Mario Maker, something relaxing all weekend. That's good for you. Good for you. Like I said, I won't be online. I've never played Mario Maker either. Anyways, the TSA is apparently saying that they are still in the hole, even though they received their back pay. So we're going to talk about this. According to TSA employees, airport security officers said they have been told by their managers that they can no longer receive donations related to their TSA positions. Fuck that noise. You guys, like, I wouldn't listen to that shit for 5 seconds. If somebody's giving me a donation, I'm fucking taking it. You guys screwed with our pay. You locked them down twice when the government shutdown happens. They can't do anything. They can't earn anything. And if they get other work, then they're asked to come back later. All right, even though many are still trying to climb out of the debt from late payment fees, creditors, and missed bill payments that they incurred, 2 record-breaking shutdowns within a few months, federal employees cannot accept gifts given because of their official position, according to the U.S. government. A lot of the officers that I represent are saying that the money that we received, it went out as soon as it came in, said Joseph Claretti, a TSA worker in Oakland International Airport and a union representative for his local chapter. Claretti received all of his back pay, but said he had heard of other officers who did not receive everything they were owed. Addressing the reports, some TSA officers said about missing portions of their paychecks. Acting Assistant Secretary Lauren Biss said in a statement to ABC, "We are working aggressively with the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, National Finance Center, to complete processing for half the paychecks that were owed from the pay period 3 as soon as possible." So our government can't afford to pay the TSA people, but we want to give we want to give $1.5 trillion more dollars to the military. Not give $1.5 trillion to the military. $1.5 trillion more to the military. Are you kidding me? Why did we? I'm gonna guess the person we banned was just a bot. Yeah, that happens. All right, so yes, I don't know why they use YouTube though. Who uses YouTube? I ain't hanging out with those. Well, that's mean, buddy. YouTube's nice. I like everything. We have all the channels for a reason. After a week with Digger, you'll be sending her to the moon, says MSO. What do you mean I'll be sending her to the moon? After a week with Digger, I'll be fucking on cloud 9. I love that lady. I can't imagine anything that would be more fun than spending the rest of my life with that lady. Like, we just enjoy doing everything together. So, like, if we're just living in a normal situation like I've experienced before with other relationships, because I've had healthy relationships, I would say that that's going to be great. We hang out together. We have fun together. She goes out, hangs out with her friends, or goes out and does stuff. Then we come back and we hang out some more. And yeah, I got zero problems with this. We got to fund the space lasers to fight off the alien invasion. Scruffy, I feel like if we learned anything from earlier, we don't need space lasers. We need space glazers. Space glazers. We need American patriots to become space glazers who will fire from the hip and just bukkake every threat we face. We need to keep 11 carriers active in the military to ensure the right that we have the petrodollar. Yeah, but that doesn't need $1.5 trillion more dollars. Again, it's not like we're adding the $1.5 trillion and that's everything all said and done to the military. That's $1.5 trillion more. That's on top of what we already spend. Scruffy sounds like a new studio sponsor. Space glazers? It could be. We could do space glazers. I don't hate the idea. I don't like that I'm okay with it, but I don't hate the idea. But we could. There's an argument for doing space glazers. All right, so yeah, I think each grocery bag equated to about what? Seretti told the news about a local church that was scheduled to donate a large amount of groceries to TSA officers. I think each grocery bag equated to about $180 to $200 worth of groceries. Steaks, chickens, Claretti told the news. We had arranged for a meeting for today with Genesis Church to transfer the groceries to management so that management could I'm sure they'll equally disperse the groceries to each officer. Right then, I got a phone call a few days ago saying, oh, we canceled Thursday's donation. Awesome. So you guys just shut down the donation. The partial shutdown will continue until at least Monday, when the House could take up the Senate's DHS funding bill during their next pro forma session. Congress is on spring recess. This is one of those, I feel like you should get less time off, not more. Congress is on spring recess. Is your job done? Then you don't go home. We don't do spring recess for people that have got the government shut down and not fully funded. You don't get to go on vacation when you haven't been able to solve this budget issue. Otherwise, you know where we get the money to fund the TSA while this budget shutdown thing is a thing? We take it out of your fucking paycheck. Let's go to this. Freak 597 with $5 and an unrequested song called Space Glazers. I don't know how much of this will play. Oh shit, that makes that 5 count too. So that puts us at 0. That puts us at 0 there. We're down to $20 for Wednesday, April 8th, and that's before we add in the Twitch and the Rumble from today. So thank you very much. Here we go. I didn't request this song, Space Glazers. We'll give it a try.
Red alert, chromo skin, docking bay, you pull me in, gravity, losing track, silver hands on my back. Space glazers, burning through the dark tonight. Space glazers, riding every neon line, locking for love, past everyone in line. Space glazers, touching where the stars collide.
See what I mean about AI is so dangerous? You could tell me that whole video we watched was largely composited with AI, and I'd believe it. Look how fast he put together a Space Glazers song. But it's just like, now we're a minute in. Now it's just the instrumental's too long. Can we get, I don't want to see, like, this is where you're losing me. If we got back to it, we could be okay. I'm giving it another good 20 seconds and I'm out.
Zero G, bodies twist, breathless laughs, static kiss, airlock blow, mask them off, deep eclipse, engines cough. Space glazers, burning through the dark tonight.
Yeah, it's taken too long, man. I'm not here. No. I don't want to play a 3-minute song. Thank you for the $5 and the submission. It does have a nice, I'll say this, it does have a nice hook with the Space Glazers. It's not bad. It's not bad, but there we go. Fall in the Great Suno continuing to be a thing. We did that. So we did all of those stories. So we're covering all of that. So yeah, the TSA agents absolutely should still be able to collect donations. And I'm tired of, again, people going on vacation for they're on their spring break. Yeah, but they have shit to do. And stuff has stagnated, and the parts of the government are shutting down because they're not getting their job done. I feel like they don't deserve a vacation. They don't deserve a paycheck. Well, if you pay them, they won't be politicians. Well, if you don't pay them and they quit being politicians, good. Let other people be in charge. These assholes have a vested interest in fucking us over for their own bullshit reasons, and I want it all to stop. All right, so we've got some third-hour stories where we're going to have a little bit more, even more lax stuff. We're getting less out of the weeds there. We've got a story that reveals mayonnaise is an instrument according to science. So this is where I argue science has failed us, because oh fuck, no wonder these are all. I was like, why is that so weird and off? Now I've got that Space Glazers thing and just the hook part of it. Space Glazers. Like, I got that stuck in there. Jesse, happy Friday. Johnny, and happy Easter, too. Okay, have fun with your kids. Like, well, yeah. And it's kid, singular. But yeah, no, Easter is kind of a day for her in the morning especially. And then, yeah, might go over to the parents and hang out there. My mission has succeeded. I got something shitty stuck in your head. Well, congratulations, buddy. That is stuck in my head. The military is the same thing as your paycheck. It's called taxes and time equals inflation, and the best rolls on, and the beat rolls on, and the beat rolls on. I'm tired of funding the military. I'm tired of more money, more. And there's zero accountability in it. I think the military should be docked all that money they spent on shrimp and furniture, and be like, hey, you clearly didn't need it, so guess what we're doing? We're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that. Was this a video? Oh, that's a headline news thing. I don't want headline news. Again, I hit pause, and you know I did. All right, so we've got a story about an influencer. Didn't they put a video up? Left reeling after a tattoo removal session led to a disgusting complication. Recent video. Yeah.
My sister said
I want the recent video. All righty. So we're going for, again, another 45 minutes here. We've got a story about a lady who had trouble removing a tattoo. We've got a loose peacock in Pennsylvania. I didn't intend this to be a thing, but I've got another pica story because we did the story about, or we did the video, the spoof video about treating your kids with pica. I've got a story about kids and pica. Apparently, they've got a list of the weirdest non-food items that they've seen people eat. It was on an episode of My Strange Addiction, shows eating disorders that drive people to consume things you'd never find on a menu. So what do we have here? I worked with a patient whose family had consistently had to hide their kitchen sponges because even when they were dirty and foul smelling, the affected patient would often consume them. Pica, she explained, is a persistent craving and consumption of non-food items that have no nutritional value. Like this UK's woman habit of eating talcum powder that has cost her more than $10,000. Oh. Dude, eating sponges? Are you kidding me? That's gross. Pica, which is believed to be relatively common, experts aren't entirely sure how it is so widespread as it is. As researchers remain limited on the condition is often missed by doctors, according to the Cleveland Clinic. The causes are complex. In some cases, pica is linked to nutritional deficiencies, particularly iron or zinc. Other times, it may point to underlying neurodevelopmental conditions such as autism. Behavioral reinforcement also plays a role. If the behavior reduces anxiety or provide sensory stimulation, it can become habitual. Overall, she sees higher rates in populations where biological vulnerabilities like nutritional deficiencies intersect with environmental stressors such as poverty or neglect. So poor people without enough food develop pica. All right. Every man, woman, or child that lives in the United States that is a citizen, pays taxes, is paid over $300 for the F-22 program. Okay. How do you think Patrick pays rent? He eats a sponge, says Scruffy. Apparently, Patrick pays by eating a sponge. He is sponge-worthy. I'd rather fund the military than foreigners, says Scruffy. Right, but we're not ending the foreigner funding. It's not an either or. This is why I want the military funding to stop, because they're going to continue funding the foreigners. They're going to go after the social service programs and other things that, yeah, some foreigners use, but they're going to affect the people here just as much, if not more. And they're going to continue bringing those people over from those other countries who are going to continue defrauding the government if they're not just on the dole. So those parts are still happening. The only thing I want to give foreigners is artillery to the face. Again, but that's not on the docket. On the docket is just giving the military more money. That's it. None of what you're asking for is in the arrangement, and that's where I'm pissed. Like, we can have that conversation. I don't know that I share your viewpoint, but I could say we can have that discussion. We can have that conversation, and I would at least be in favor of this thing a lot more if it were like an and/or situation. But what we have is, no, you're just going to pay more, period. No, nothing's changing. You're just going to give us more money. It'll stop once we make it 110 countries. No idea what you're talking about, buddy. Not a clue what you mean, but you know what? I'll take your word for it at this point in time. We got a half hour left in the show, and I just want to wrap it up and go home. So I'm one ear out the other. I have no idea what you mean. I have no idea what you mean. All right, let's close that one out. They treat pica. Cool. All right, so Easter is happening this Sunday, and in a I can't fucking believe it, we have this story to report on. PETA officials have asked the U.S. and the U.K. to reconsider their annual Easter egg roll events to incorporate the use of potatoes instead of eggs. Why the hell is there... ingratiating the First Lady as a trendsetter, PETA offered Melania Trump a custom frock inspired by Marilyn Monroe made of Idaho potato sacks. Who gives a shit? Courtesy of PETA. Well, now I definitely hope they don't do it, because this looks like shit. This looks like shit. And by the way, that looked like shit. But the only reason anyone gave two shits about that is because of who it was on. So yes, PETA advocates and urges that potatoes are a sustainable and human choice that can be dyed, decorated, and rolled just the same as eggs. Right? You can do it with potatoes. But anyone who's raised chickens, and I know you guys don't over there, PETA, but anyone who's raised chickens can tell you they'll be crapping those eggs out nonstop. So unless those eggs are fertilized, they're not going to waste. Like they're going to waste your way. A bunch of just random egg. Again, we're hard boiling eggs and we're rolling them. Who cares? Boo, chocolate is one thing we have left. We have to quietly celebrate Christmas now. I don't think these are chocolate. They want them to be used instead of eggs. They want to use potatoes instead of eggs. So in a letter to First Lady Melania Trump, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, and that's another thing. We need to change that name. It's not People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. It's people who believe that animals need to be just left alone to their own devices under every circumstance, no matter what. That's not ethical treatment, because PETA has zero problems with watching domesticated animals starve to death so long as you don't feed them. Because now you're infringing on that animal's freedom and autonomy. Fuck PETA. Idaho bag dress. I'd love to taste her spuds, says St. Aaron. Why potatoes instead of eggs? Because they don't want... They feel bad that they're using the eggs. Because those are chickens. And it's like, no, they're not. They're not. Here's the thing. PETA is an organization for anyone who decided they never wanted to mentally age beyond 4. And so a organization of adult 4-year-olds are, I don't like you use the egg. Could that be a chicken? Anybody that's ever grown up with a chicken coop will tell you these motherfuckers shit those things out almost every goddamn day. And unless they're fertilized, they ain't going nowhere. So guess what you can't do? You can't save the eggs unless they're fertilized. And now we've got something to talk about. But it's, again, there's it's one of those, the most humane thing to do. Right, the most humane thing to do is to leave this chicken egg to sit out and just go bad and rot and smell foul. They walk and pop out eggs. Right. What about Irish people looking for potatoes reenactment? You've offended me, people. Why? Because you painted a potato. You can't paint a potato and run it down the field without me getting upset. I'm fucking Irish. So yeah, use a potato. Again, I feel like this is one of those where PETA could earn a lot of understanding if they'd back off on shit. PETA also doesn't want you to have your pets. They want you to throw your cats outside and let them starve to death. They don't want to put the animals down, but they don't want them to be domesticated. So in a perfect world, if PETA got their way, everybody would have to forcibly give up their domesticated pets, who would then just wander the streets aimlessly and create a problem. Nope, they all have to go feral. We can't interject. And this is one of those, nobody asked for this. Nobody's crying about it because, again, anyone who understands anything about chickens knows that this is really not a problem. Could have just let it go. You could have let it go. You could have let us have this one, but you had to fucking raise up and make us stink, and now we have to hate PETA even more. You know what? I'll okay that $1.5 million spending in the military budget if the Army fucking takes out PETA. Can we declare PETA a terrorist organization and literally start going after PETA with the full weight and breadth of the government? I want the government to round up PETA. Can we get that? Can we get that, please? Can we make them label them a terrorist organization and just get them all? Every single member of PETA. On their best day, their ideas and their thinking is lame, underhanded, and childish. And on their worst day, they are just a terrorist organization. We should force PETA to swim with the sharks, no cage, and bleeding. We can take care of this issue quickly. I don't even want to do that, Scruffy. I want to do this Roman Coliseum style. Whole bunch of vegan-fed PETA members, one lion. Everybody just gets to go in with the blessings that God gave them. We'll give those fuckers a fig leaf to cover up. But yeah, one lion versus 20 of them. Who wins? Who wins? Well, you guys can punch the lion. Yeah, but he can eat us, right? But while he's eating one of you, the rest of you can punch the lion. I don't think you understand. That's a murder machine. Right, it is. It is. Some animals are murder machines. Other are cute and fluffy pets. Others are sources of food. Mother Nature doesn't have any decency, consideration, or concern for ethicality and humane treatment. So why should you? Correct. That's how nature works, right? My cats will eat the PETA people. Again, this is the whole thing. Like, your cats will eat you. Like, this whole, people for the ethical treatment of animals. But you guys don't believe people should have pets. You're against anything that involves an animal, period, end of story, stop statement. It's such a blanket, la, 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 not in my world thing that I can't stand it. It's a not in my backyard thing. Like, nope, you shouldn't be allowed to have pets. Yeah, but X, Y, or Z. Nope, shouldn't be allowed to have pets. You live in a first world scenario where people are still starving and you want to take away food sources like eggs. But it's wrong. Those are chickens. No, they're not. That's literally not what's happening here. But if they were left alone, they could become chicken. No, that's not what's happening here. PETA is probably the worst organization ever. Agreed. I want PETA dismantled and destroyed. We have canines and eyes in front. We're carnivores. Scruffy says eggs are great. I'm gonna say, like, when they came for the pets, I didn't say anything because I was like, fuck it, I don't care. But when they came for the eggs, I'm like, all right, now it's on. First, you don't want me to have bacon. Now you don't want me to have eggs. You're coming after all my breakfast foods, and I need my breakfast food. So F you. If you're coming after my bacon, you're coming after my eggs. Now it's fucking personal. PETA ate vocal over eggs. I think it means are vocal over eggs, but not dogs. What do you mean about not vocal over dogs? If you're talking about China using dogs as food, they're against that too. They're against using dogs as food. They're against using cows for their milk. Do you understand how fucked up that is? They're against us using cows for their milk. Something that cows and people produce to a certain extent, and it's beneficial and healthy. Like, dairy cows have no problem providing more than enough milk for the world. Our economy gets a big portion of revenue through pet ownership, food, vets, toys, and those people who buy clothes for them. Right? There's a very, very big component in the American economy that's pet-driven. But again, PETA doesn't believe in people owning pets. Right now, they're making us stink about this. But if you gave them their way on this, then they'd keep chipping away until eventually it's like, well, we don't think people should own house cats. And again, PETA has the fourth grader, or not fourth grade, 4-year-old, fucking analogy, 4-year-old mentality of, no, that's bad, that's mean, using pets is wrong, using animals is wrong. Muslims have a big part of the world where they can have their stupid rules. Stay the fuck out of mine. But PETA is not a Muslim organization. Muslims want dogs unalived. Yeah, but again, I don't think PETA gives a shit about that. Matthew Qual, I eat everything. Well, you must be really, really fat. I eat what I can get my hands on. Ba-da-da! Jokes. Attacking eggs at Easter. Are you stupid? Mr. Q, they're not just attacking eggs at Easter. They're attacking Easter traditions that involve eggs because those traditions involve eggs. They weren't going to make this stink in July. They are not going to make this stink about this on Thanksgiving. They'll be complaining about the turkey one. And you've got a little bit more of a leg to stand on with the turkey one, but I don't think people understand just how fucking dumb some of these animals are. They're not curing cancer here, folks. And I don't know if people realize this or not, but humans need to eat meat. We need to eat protein. We need to have a diverse diet. Like, I don't think you should be a straight carnivore eating nothing but meat meat and protein are very important to the human machine. You need meat, you need protein, you need saturated fats to help, or maybe not saturated fats, but you need fat content to help digest and process that stuff. You need grains, you need nutrients and vitamins. You need it all. You can't cut a corner on it. Love my milk. Over 900 milking cows, not half a mile away. Again, and if PETA had their way, that would be outlawed. You wouldn't be able to have milk cows. So, and who are they hurting? Are the cows' lives at all shortened or threatened because they're used for milk? Hopefully not. I would think not. All right, so now we've got reports. Mayonnaise is apparently a musical instrument, according to science. The question was first posted 25 years ago by Patrick on SpongeBob SquarePants. I did not know that. The beloved Mayo brand worked with Dr. Rachel Durkin, the head of Global Music Technologies. How is Mayo music? Mayonnaise. North Northumbria University can confirm mayonnaise is a musical instrument. So a long-running internet meme now has a proper verdict based on an academic study. The findings also uncovered the possibility that mayo could serve as a material in instrument construction. Hellman's is answering one of the biggest long-running questions on the internet. Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, it's not. It's not an instrument. They're calling it official. This is just a ploy to get people to buy mayonnaise. It's not a musical instrument. I didn't even know that was a SpongeBob thing. My mayo can be used as a musical instrument. Depends how loud she is. See, get it? He See, he's doing this really cute thing. He means jizz.
You're a cunt.
I crapped myself. You did crap yourself up. You cracked yourself up typing that one. I know. I kind of imagine. Subway had a good offer there, Johnny. Buy a foot long, you get one free. Yeah, I don't really care for the. I don't really care for Subway. Let's word it like that. Let's leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. I don't care for Subway, and that's why I won't eat at Subway. I don't generally enjoy Subway. That's the way we'll word it. Mayo, a musical instrument, is mustard a lubricant? Ugh! That would be a horrible lubricant. I mean, I know it's a mild spice, but it's still spicy in general. I feel like that would be an irritant more than a lubricant. Milk, cheese, why buttermilk cows are the best. Again, not according to PETA. Not according to PETA. Buttermilk cows are slaves, and you're a dick for leaving them in that indentured servitude, where they are forced to serve the whims of man by standing there all day, gorging themselves on food, producing milk, and then feeling the utter delight that is having their udders milked. Just saying, I don't think it's that big a deal. Alrighty. No one wants an $18 footlong. Yeah, I don't. You're a cunt. Yeah. It's a good one. PETA just eats grass all day. Hence why they're cunts.
You're a cunt.
I just love that drop. That's why I keep playing it. That's literally all the motivation I have for it. I love the crap out of that drop. And so every damn chance I get, I'm going to play it. Anyways, so we have a wee bit of a program for you folks today. And that's coming in for a landing with like 20 minutes to go. We've got to get ready to do the 420 burn. So I'm getting stuff together for that. It's last time I went to Subway, my sub was $18.50. Dude, how much shit are you getting in your sub, King Kong Dong, that you spent $18.50 on a sub? That seems like a lot. That really seems like a lot. It's giving me agita just thinking about it. I don't think you can get anything. I don't think anything you can get at Subway is any better than something you could just make yourself with a little bit of effort. There are other places, though, that's not quite the same. I like Jimmy John's. I like Jersey Mike's. There's a couple. I love Firehouse Subs. There's a couple of places where, yeah. But Subway, I'm like, nah. Subway was great when I was a kid. For an easy, like, get a sandwich, a bag of chips, and a soda. Like, when I was in high school and there was a field trip on my way into school, if they're open, day before, if I have to, kick out during free period, hop in my car and drive over to Subway before lunch, like, maybe. But even then, that was like a last call thing. $18 is better be at least a pound of meat. I don't know about a pound, but yeah. You better be getting one hell of a big sandwich. It was the standard chicken bacon ranch with extra bacon. Oh, so it was definitely not halal. It is Subway if you are desperate for food. Desperate for food. I don't know that I'd word, maybe now. I don't know that I'd word that about Subway in the past. Bo Dids is great St. Cloud sub. I've never had Bo Diddley. Bo Dids. I've never had Bo Dids. Remember the good old days when fast food didn't cost an hour's wage. Remember the good old days when you had to actually go there to get it, and now you can type in on an app, and it just shows up at your door, so you could be extra fat and lazy, and it costs even more because of all the delivery charges. Those were the days. I love the diggers joining us before we're over, coming in for the landing. We appreciate that. Scruffy, the only way I'm picking Subway is if my choice is between only Subway and some Indian shop. I've had Indian food, not from like a restaurant, but like take home and make them, like try this and experience, a global culinary palette, like stuff you can get at the grocery store, and it's always been gross. So I don't know if it's just Indian food is gross or I've had bad experiences. And I know a lot of you are probably just saying, Johnny, yes. But I'm with you, Scruffy. I would go to Subway before Indian food. I don't know that I would like Indian food. What I've learned about myself is that I really love Mexican food and Tex-Mex food, man. I love Mexican food and Tex-Mex food. And as I'm starting to develop more of a taste for, like, burn your fucking ass off fire because we keep eating those stupid jelly beans, I'm telling you, man, I'm liking Mexican food. Gilberto's is awesome. McStop used to have an option. Now it's Subway and McDonald's. Gross. I like McDonald's, though. Like, I think I have to go out shopping tomorrow, and when I do, I have to stop at Sam's to pick up, like, stuff. I'm going to try and get some of them nuggies, because I think they have them at Sam's Club, too. I believe they do. If they do, and I'm with someone who has a Sam's Club membership, I'm spending $12 and I'm buying a crap load of chicken nuggets. And then I'm buying a crap load of chicken nuggets. I'm buying a fucking bottle of barbecue sauce. And at some point, I'm making an absurd amount of chicken nuggets. And just chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce. That's what we're eating. Nope, the smell alone makes me want to vomit. On what? Indian food? I miss the Jared days, when kids were... No, we're not doing that. Indian takeout is great if you pick a good takeout spot. I don't believe you, St. Caesar. I loved Pad Thai back in the day, and the restaurant that makes it now doesn't make it as good as they used to. Somebody else took it over and tried doing their own thing with that restaurant, and they kind of serve their the food they used to serve, but now they do like a freaking like Filipino Thai infusion. I just don't care for it. Indian food is gross, I would say. Pad Thai with lime is gross. Hey, get some tacos. Carne asada. I love Gilberto's burritos, man. I had one a while ago. Gilberto's burritos are fucking phenomenal. Gilberto's burritos. I have a Sam's membership. You need help getting in, says King Kong Dong. No, I'm pretty sure my family does, and I already made my arrangements. I appreciate that. I don't need help getting in. I'm told I can use the pharmacy regardless, but my newest prescriptions were put over to the pharmacy there, and I need someone who has a membership because I got to buy them nuggies. What I want to do is fill my air fryer to the breaking point with chicken nuggets and just make me a shitload of chicken nuggets. That's all I want to do. I want to be a piece of crap and sit on the couch with a bowl full of chicken nuggets and just eating a bunch of McDonald's chicken nuggets. Greek is my favorite fast food. I don't know any good Greek places. Are there Greek places around town? Ippin Ramen isn't fast food, but that's my favorite place. I got to go back to Ippin Ramen sometime soon. Freak 95, Space Glazer. No. We're not doing Space Glazers. Digger, you might get a kick out of that if Freak wants to relink it. Otherwise, you can scroll up in the chat. You may have missed that earlier. Freak provided a Space Glazers song for us. I'm not playing it again. Not my least favorite, says King Kong Dong. I had a Sam's membership. What? I hate Greek food? No, my least favorite. Oh, Greek food's your least favorite. I thought you said it was your favorite. I apologize. Greek is my least favorite food. I don't think there is anywhere that you can get Greek food around here. Like the New York, you're
fabulous.
Thank you, Lab Glass, for the 100 bits. We're 5 minutes away from a 420 burn before we lock this whole thing down. I would say that New York Euro, I don't know that that's Greek food. They're just Euros. Are Euros specifically Greek food? I thought Euros were a Mediterranean thing shared by multiple cultures. But if New York Euro is Greek, then yeah, it's the only Greek restaurant I know. Greek lamb is great. We used to have Euros and shit that had lamb in, like, school. But it was...
Somebody fought in the minibus. Somebody fought in the minibus.
Freak 597, I'll take you to Sam's Club, Johnny. I just want to use the handicap parking. You can't right now because I don't have the official placards. I have the temporary placard thing, and I have to talk to the DMV because I'm going to double check one last time when we set up for Ivy's Easter stuff here. But I don't have they never mailed me my new placards. I'm still waiting. What the hell's taking so damn long? I've been about as Minnesota nice on this as I'm gonna. Now we need to see some shit get done. Because I need to know why the hell I don't have my placards. So sorry. I won't be able to do that for you. Did you fart in the minibus, Johnny? No. But I can't deny that song is just a beat that I got to move to. So thank you, Lab Glass, for the 100 bits. We appreciate that you threw that in. And I'll do a little salut in about 3 minutes here. But yeah, I gotta move with that. I didn't fart in the minibus, man. I haven't even ridden in a minibus in forever. Oh, you can tell the weather's changed. It's affecting my nose. All right, so animal story of the day. Police in Pennsylvania are trying to find the owner of an elusive peacock seen wandering loose in the neighborhood. The Lower Moreland Police Department officers responded recently to reports of a peacock. Police were unable to capture the peacock, but spoke to wildlife experts who say the bird may return home on its own. Should any resident see the peacock, please do not attempt to capture it, as it can/may become aggressive during this time of year. The police said they will continue to monitor the situation. So wait a minute.
Hey, bum, bum, bum. Got any grapes?
Thank you, Lab Glass, for the 100 bits and the Got Any Grapes. We'll be rounding all of that up after the show today and over the weekend to put it on Monday's goal, or put it on the goal for Monday. We're at April 8th with $20. So if we banked out $20, then we're on to Thursday. And it's, oh my God, so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're doing good here. Everything's going good. The Friday fund us through the month show so we can just kind of coast thing happens next Friday. All the fun torture stuff will be coming. Put it down, says Mr. Q. Put what down? Put it down. Put the bird down? Why put the bird down? It's just a peacock wandering around. Lab Glass with the Laser Cat sticker for the 100 bits. This is not the time to do a hype train. We're literally 420s happening in a minute. So I'm now very, very worried that Lab Glass. Space lasers. No. We were saying space glazers before. Not lasers. I can understand the confusion. Not lasers. Glazers. Space glazers. Yes, it is the time for a hype train. It's literally the worst time. We've got 10 minutes to go. I've got to do things. I got to go. It's that time of day. I mean, to put what down? Everything or the bird? Yeah, I can understand if you're unhappy. But dude, again, it's a fucking peacock. Its feathers look like shit, by the way. I'm gonna be honest. This peacock's feathers look pretty. These ones at the back, look how they're horrible. This is a very poorly maintained bird. If this is a pet, It's been wild for a while. Look how messed up those feathers are.
Last time I checked, we don't have a whole lot of songs that feature the cowbell.
Oh, shit. Kraken slapping with a sub. Oh, I gotta do a 420 thing first, quick. Hold on. Control bird. Houston, we have a controlled bird. Cowbell coming in for Kraken slapping. Cowbell coming in for you. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. Cowbell coming in. Ayo. Thank you very much. And now we have 3 minutes to launch a hype train. The show has 9 minutes left. This doesn't mathematically make sense because then the hype train launches in, say, 2 minutes. And then we have 7 minutes to do a hype train, but each level is 5 minutes. And depending on how that goes... No.
Here comes a train, a busy little train, rushing up and down on the daisy line. Mummies and daddies, the grandpas and the grannies, everyone's aboard on the 809. Here comes a train, and here comes driver 10-2. Wahey! Here it comes, here it comes, here comes the train to stay. Here comes the train!
Great. Great. Now we've got a hype train. Level 1, 43%. We're coming to the end of the whole freaking program. I got to make this work. Can I get an IOU for 100 bits? That doesn't how that works. It's not how that works. I can't give you bits. I don't have, like, when people pay bits on this program, they don't pay the bits and then I have them and then I cash them out. No, it's a straight, the bits is an internal thing. Johnny, the numbers are the numbers, and the numbers, well, they're the numbers. And the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at level 1 of a hype train with 3.5 minutes to go. So now this program has 8 minutes left, and I've got a hype train going for the last 3.5 minutes. Thank you, St. Aaron, for the 5 bits. I appreciate you helping out. That is great. We're at 44% of level 1. We'll see if that goes further before I dive into this. If it starts getting close, though, I'm going to have to. That's going to be a problem. I'm loving this reality show I'm watching with Digger, and there are people competing in. Oh, you know what it is? You know what? It solves that problem. Oh, I bet that doesn't. That doesn't. That's the ticket. So yeah, I love watching this puzzle thing, and I realize I do like the scavenger hunt stuff with Ivy, and that's all well and good. She enjoys it, and I'm kind of like raising her. I bet she'd love to watch this program if I get her to sit still, but she won't. I will match you with the Black Root Buds, says Mr. Q. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. I hope you have a wonderful Good Friday and as all right an Easter as you can have this year. I wish you the best. So that's about all I'm going to say about that. What are we doing over here on the Rumble? Now freaks are abusing condiments. Yep. Subway sucks. I agree with you, Historically White. Subway mystery meat subs. Yeah, they suck. Covering that up, balls. Woot woot. It's done. All I have to do can be done with the distance of my headphone cord. Oh, great. So she's setting up so she can finish watching that show with me. 220. Digger, shh, don't tell Johnny. I got a line on more peak. No, you don't, Digger. All ready for tomorrow, so you can relax. Yeah, have a great time tomorrow. You need to take that time off. We have 6 minutes left in the show. How many minutes left in the hype train? Hype train almost done here. It completely froze on my screen. Nope, that's moving. All right, and so we have a minute and a half left, 44%. The hype train completely locked where it's at. Misty Gray Cat says meow. Well, I'd say Alucard says meow, but I'm going to be honest. Alucard, I've been at my desk so much, Alucard and me don't snuggle as much. I think he's pouting. He's been staying upstairs more. Ivy's grandmother, who Alucard used to never let him pet her, now he sits in her lap. He sits in her lap and she just gently pets him. He's taken the better part of 2 decades to figure out, oh, if I just behave myself and sit in your lap, like a lot of people will just pet me. I like getting pet. I'll sit here and get pet. Finally figured that out. Dumbass. Takes forever. Al hasn't been down much since you recorded him, Johnny. Strange. He's been down a couple times. Like I said, he can't jump up in my lap and sit here in my lap very well at the desk, and he doesn't like the weed thing. And so we do a lot of that here, so this isn't his favorite spot to be. He comes up here a lot, but not much. Just the way it is. He's an old cat. Tegra jumps in my lap all day long. She loves being in my lap. Alucard wants to sit on my desk while we're doing the show. Really not the best time for him. When all the stuff is off my desk, yeah. He's messed up a WoW run here or there. But yeah, so there's a peacock loose. They save the peacock if they find it, I guess. I don't know whose it is. Looks like shit. Just saying. Your bird looks sick. There we go. Police in Pennsylvania. I've got 4 minutes left on the program. That hype train finished at level 144%. I'm going to do this controlled burn. Before I do, I just want to remind everybody we won't be live this Sunday. I'm not doing anything on Easter Sunday game-wise. And then we'll be back next week, obviously, on the Steel Toe Show and here Monday with Digger, I believe. Supposedly she's going to be gone for a little bit, for a couple days. So I don't know when that's happening or how that's affecting the schedule. When we find out, I'll have to write all that down because I won't remember any of it. But we'll do that and we'll tell you. Our studio sponsor, thank you again, Scruffy Salty Surprise, for being the studio sponsor this week and next week before we change it out. It's been one of my favorite ones. It came together very nicely. I really like the logo. It's been fun. Scruffy D Salty Surprise, where the surprise is, it's delicious. All right, thanks for the streams, Johnny. Going through some things right now. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. A lot of people that's going around. I'm sorry for anyone going through stuff. I know what that feels like and how that's not awesome. We'll do this last controlled burn for you guys. And while we do this last controlled burn, warning, this might be a little gross. We're going to go to this influencer who apparently decided to get one of her tattoos removed, sharing her experience. Hold in your tongues, boys. Here we go.
We should not share this on the internet because it's disgusting. And I agree with her, but I'm still going to show it to you guys because why not?
Because it's the
If you
internet.
want to see something gross, please keep scrolling. I went to get my 3rd session for my tattoo removal done on the back of my knee. This time we went up a little bit because, I don't know, I have a high pain tolerance. I was like, it's fine. It's been fine. Let's amp that bad boy up. Got back from my appointment yesterday. I was like, she's a little hot. I looked down and it starts to look like it's like a little bubbly. And I was like, okay, those are probably just little blisters. I've heard that can happen with tattoo removal. That's fine. I woke up this morning and I'm gonna show you guys what I saw. This is what it looks like.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa! That looks like a thing of resin that they use in fuck, it scared the shit out of me. I can't even remember. Jurassic Park to bring back the dinosaurs. Holy Jesus. Oh, back knee tat? What? Yeah. Oh, that ain't good. That is not good. Bricks Gaming. Wow. Rusty Grammar. Oh, Johnny, you want to raid this weekend of the 25th? I'd have to get my Bricks Gaming. I'm not opposed to it. I'd have to get my Hunter up to raid level, which I don't know if he is. My Paladin is tank and raid level, but he's also my main. So the odds will be strong that weekend I'll already have done like the normal and heroics. Like we're burning through heroic right now. So by the 25th, I don't think we'll be up to mythic. Maybe we will, at least like 1 or 2. But I got to tell you this season, I got to be able to get to mythic to do Balar. I need to beat mythic Balar. I need that mount. That freaking blue and yellow bird is freaking amazing. And I have Alar, so I got to get Bolar because he's the son of Alar. Anyways, you get our beloved JK on the high road eventually. I don't know about that one, Rusty. We'll see what happens. Johnny, we'll see what happens on WoW. But yeah, oof. I have regrets. Not even a single letter? No regrets, huh? No regrets. Ow. Looks like someone threw an ashtray at her. They used a laser, and I'm going to say this. This looks like it burned way more than it should have.
Is that? Gotten way too comfortable on here. I'm sorry. The internet is telling me a billion different things. If this has happened to you, let me know what you did.
Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do, ma'am, since you're kind of dumb. The internet's telling me a billion different things. Call your non-emergency hospital or call the emergency room like nurse triage line. Like there's a phone line where you should be able to speak with a nurse and you can explain the situation and they can tell you whether you should see somebody about it or not. Like, because I'm getting, one, either A, lance it, ugh, that's going to be gross, or B, go there and have them do it. But you're going to need to lance that bitch. Life isn't about fun and games, lavish vacations. It's about the struggle, the battle, brother, says Rusty. Well, I've got no regrets, as some would say. We're a minute over. All right, so that gross lady's got a problem and apparently doesn't understand that you can call the hospital and speak to somebody about it as opposed to taking the internet's advice. Yes, every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet. Ma'am, I just gave you advice. I'm not a licensed medical physician, and you shouldn't trust a single fucking word I said. All right, but anyways, that being said, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back Monday with Digger, hopefully. Obviously on the Steel Toe Show. We've been Johnny. You've been an audience. It's been fabulous. Thank you so much for the support. I'm very blessed to continue to get to do this. We're gonna get out of here.
Hey world, what should we do? All the jokes have become the news. Take the black pill they're prescribing you. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. There is nothing to say, nothing you can do. The government and media just lie to you. Sit back and laugh, it's overdue. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. The host is a cripple, he can't stand gravity or the man. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. The show is the chat Johnny doesn't understand. We don't care what he has planned. Game over.